Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dorkest Hour. Tonight's our 5th episode, and we are joined by Bajheera and Towelliee, a couple of OGs in the Twitch scene. Let's go say hi to the boys. What up, boys? How's
Hello.
it going?
What's up?
Holy shit, we actually made it happen. We only rescheduled it 4 times. 14 times or 4? I can't remember.
That's it.
Yeah.
Was it only 4? I felt like it was like 7.
I know. And that's what happens when it's a hobby and, you know, you have other shit going on in your life. But dudes, we're finally here. Bajheera and Towelliee. Good to see you, boys.
Yeah, man. It's been a
Good to
bit.
see
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Jay.
Let's see what's cool about us rescheduling all these times is actually doing it is like we all actually wanted to do it. It wasn't like oh yeah, let's just postpone it and then just like never follow back up. So credit to us. We're actually doing the dang thing in here.
Yeah, you guys weren't just being nice. You actually wanted to be here. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
that's so nice of
Amen.
you. Jay, what the fuck's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Barely gaming, touching grass a lot. Bajheera's gonna love this. I started going to the gym hard last week. I have
Last week. You had
so
to prep for the podcast.
no, so
It's like
in
training
at the
montage.
beginning of the year, I weighed 250 pounds. I was smoking a quarter a day. I was drinking. I was not doing anything. And then something
been there,
snapped.
done that.
Something snapped January 23rd whenever I lost my job at Iron Mace on Dark and Darker. And I just went fucking beast mode, 8 mode. And since then, I've lost 34 pounds, 12% body fat or 10%. I can't remember which, 11 or 10, something like that. I've been going hard.
man.
Every day I do full body workouts.
Nice.
Today's a fast, so I don't work out on a fast day because I think that's probably a bad idea, right, Bajheera? You're the expert.
I know, right?
If I'm not eating
it's
at all
like-
and just drinking,
I
I
do.
shouldn't. Should I? Bajheera's
like
the
to work out?
expert. Do I like to work out? Yeah, I'm addicted. Yeah, I used to when I was in the Air Force. I used to be in great shape. I just became a tech bro stoner that loves DoorDash.
I mean, if you like working out and if it improves your day, I would just send it.
Yeah.
I have my buddy Jeff Leach coming. He's actually about to be here in an hour. He's the voice of Ghost in Warzone. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's this big, tall, jacked British guy. And he's about to be in a movie, and he's filming for a role, and he has to be really big for it. So he actually said, "Oh, I might after the podcast, we should go to the gym." And I'm like, come on, don't be a fat fuck. Come on. I'm like, all right, you're right. Ghost out. All right, see you there, mate. Anyway, so he's gonna drag me to the gym after this, and then probably in and out. But
Excellent.
anyway, I'm doing good. I'm feeling great. I don't know. Things have been like life has been getting better since I started going to the gym. It's funny how it's like a domino effect. But anyway,
That's what they say.
yeah. Jay, get in the gym. Get in the
Oh
gym.
no.
What's keeping you from the gym? Tell me.
Oh, I gotta like get up and do stuff. My God.
Do you get up to go get your DoorDash? Your roommate brings it to you,
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes my roommate swoops it.
right? That is
The
hilarious.
delivery for the
I'm
delivery,
the
bro.
same way. I'm the same way, man. Like, I'm like some months I'll be like, this is my workout month, and I go hard, and then the next I just like food so much, so it's like I like my
Yeah, I hate
go,
food.
I go up and down like on my weight. Like I think when I started years ago, I was like 420. I went down to like 260, and I stayed there for my wedding. And then after my wedding, I said, "Fuck it, I'm done." And
It
then
don't matter no more.
I went back up to like 310 recently, and now in the last 2 months, I'm back down 30 pounds again. So
Nice.
it's like, but yeah, so it's like I feel like I almost like it's like a control knob for me. I can just like say I want to eat, I want to work out. I want to eat, I want to work out. I just kind of turn it on and off now. But I get that feeling like the DoorDash here. I'm like, honey, can you bring that upstairs? I can't move. I'm glued.
You know, I
Yeah,
worked out real hard for like a
You
year.
can both eat and work out, and then you just get jacked.
Yeah, I worked out hard for like a year. My biggest thing is snacks, bro. I was like real strict, no snacks. And now I'm buying snacks.
Oh, I buy like $100 worth of snacks on TikTok like every month.
My pantry,
TikTok?
my
Local
pantry
business.
and my fridge and my freezer are purposely empty. I can't. If I have food in the house, I'll eat it. So I'm taking the French approach,
Same.
where I go to the grocery store just for what I need. I eat that, and I don't have anything else because my fat fucking ass will get out of bed just to like get a bag of jerky and I'll just eat meat in the darkness if I have it. Like I just can't do that. I'm like snacks.
That's called setting yourself up for success.
Exactly.
Stuff around if you like, you don't have to like constantly redline your discipline by like just resisting the snacks as hard as you can. It's like just
don't have them.
Not have them around.
Yep, that's what I have to do that. Yep. And if there's weed, like if I smoke weed, the alien known as THC takes over my brain. Like one of the Yerks and Animorphs. I don't even have control of myself anymore. And it reinstalls DoorDash and orders 9,000 calories to the house. And suddenly I'm drinking a milkshake that I don't even want. And I'm fucking eating crap I don't want. Weed takes over, so I can't smoke weed either.
It does, man.
I know you know, Roberto.
I was telling Jenny about this. I could be there. We were shopping for like the cats during the weekend. And I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and it was like some kind of like trash explosion take place in the parking lot. And I looked over, and it was like some lady had just thrown like a sandwich, like a hamburger, just out of her car, just onto the ground, like in its wrapper, and it exploded and stuff. And I was like, "What is going on over there? Like, did she drop it? Because that's a bummer to drop your food." And then I see her in there, and she's like looking a little bit distressed, and it's like, so there's some lady just like aggressively eating in her vehicle and then threw it out there, and I'm like, she is having a bit of a situation right now. Like she's like stress eating, emotional eating, like some kind
I don't mean to laugh, sorry.
She's thrown it out because she's like trying to wrench herself from this feeding frenzy that's taking over her, or she just dropped it and now it's like a really bad day. But either way, it affected me because I'm like, you guys are talking about all this. It's like that could be me too. I like to eat as well.
Yeah, but dude, you're a different fucking
bit of experience.
You're a different demon, though. You don't lack any discipline at all. We'll get to you in a second, Roberto. He's a different breed. He's a different fucking breed.
100%.
100%, dude. You are.
I have a story. I have a story I can tell about that. Tell us a story about that.
Tell us.
We went to the the Del Mar Fair.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a couple different stories that I could think of that may be appropriate for the situation. But I like this one too.
If you've ever been to California fairs, you know everything's just bacon wrapped, like fried. They fry everything you can imagine. So I'm there eating like a triple cheeseburger glazed donut, donut glaze. You know, it's like three patties, then it's like it's like a fucking donut on each side. And I'm having that with like a basket of fries. I turn to my right, Bajheera over here opens up like a lunchbox with like chicken and broccoli and just starts stirring it up. He's eating that while I'm eating a donut with three patties. And I'm
you brought your own lunchbox to the fair.
So
that's discipline, baby.
I would not usually eat fair food anyway. That's not like on my menu. It's fine. So I also want to take a brief moment because we're gonna be doing a little bit of like comparison. We're gonna be doing a little bit of compare and contrast, a little dichotomy here. My dietary decisions do not represent any sort of moral, like a reflection on anybody else about their food decisions. Okay, I'm not sitting here judging people about having their double bacon wrapped.
I did not feel
jelly donut hamburger.
Trust
me,
me.
That's fine. You do what you want to do. And if I decide not to do that, it's not because I'm not reflecting negatively on you for your decision. So just want to lay that out there. But
of course.
In this particular moment,
I
was in pretty deep prep for a bodybuilding show. So and Rob's actually being even nice about it. He's not mentioning the fact that I was like having like the chicken and broccoli, like the 6 Tupperwares of chicken and broccoli that I had in like a big insulated lunchbox, like in the car on the way there. They're having to deal with this like microwaved at some point now cold chicken and broccoli smell that I'm eating in like the back of the car. And so
I can smell it right now.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So this was one of my first bodybuilding preps, I believe. And so I was doing chicken and broccoli because I was like, this could work. This is fine. And it was fine. And I did well. I ended up, winning the Muscle Beach.
You did.
Wait. I got a question.
So talk about getting bit by the bug, winning your first overall. That was like, okay, I really like doing this. So anyway, but yes, I was in pretty deep during that prep.
When you say chicken and broccoli, you mean like chicken and broccoli, no rice, no like nothing else?
No,
you're a freak, bro.
No.
You're a freak.
Salt and pepper
in that situation.
Salt and pepper.
I think that even was like a little bit like that would be like something I would do now, but back then, no. So I was in deep, bro.
And the best part is because I remember that was during 4th of July, right? Because after you won that competition, you came right to our barbecue at the house.
Yeah.
And this man ransacked everything. I was so happy.
Yeah.
I remember he took oh my God, what's the name of that Mexican meat?
Carne asada?
Chorizo? Yes, carne asada.
Oh,
carne asada. He just raw dogged like 4 pieces of carne asada, almost like steak sizes, and just put them in between 2 pieces of bread and just started eating.
Hell yeah!
I can go to work as well. There are times where you're cold, unseasoned chicken and broccoli at the fair, and there's times where you go to your boy's barbecue and go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean,
there are 2 wolves inside of me, as they say.
Yeah.
Right?
When your body is a top shelf S tier product, your fucking body itself is the product. Of course, you have to take care of it. I mean, I've seen the pictures, I've seen videos, like competition videos. You're probably the most jacked person I've ever met in real life, and I've interviewed WWE wrestlers, so it's fucking insane. I'm not. You're natty. They're all fucking roided out. They're all puffy and shit. So you are the real deal. And then Roberto, you're fucking dude. I have seen whenever I first met you, you were a heavy guy, and I have seen you go through like hardcore moments where you just shed. You went psycho too. Like I know you have that demon in you. I've seen it. So I don't know. I mad respect to you both because it's fucking hard to do that shit. And,
we've worked out together before. Early on when he moved over, kind of into like the same general area. We went to the gym like early together, frequently. It was really fun.
How old are you guys now?
It's
okay.
I'm 35.
Really?
Get the fuck out of here. You're still that young?
Fuck, I hate you. God damn it.
Damn it,
how old are you, Roberto?
44.
Okay, you look good. Nice. Jay's the baby. How old are you, Jay?
I look like maybe 38, 39.
Yeah, you don't look 40s. Yeah, Jay's 28. You don't look 40s.
You look great.
Yeah, I'll be 39 in July. So I'm getting up there.
You guys honestly you guys look like the same as when I met you, which is like
I don't know.
You guys just looking like yourselves.
Isn't that weird?
Doing it.
Yeah, and then one day you hit a cliff and you're just fucking, oh, how's it going, Roberto? Oh, jeez, we're on Twitch. Oh.
People keep telling me that. They're like, oh, just wait. Oh, you're 20-something. Just wait till you're 30, bro. You're going to, it's all going to come crumbling down. It's like, oh, you're 30-something. Just wait till you're 35, bro. You're going to, like, your joints ain't going to work. Right. Going to be feeling rough. It's like, okay, well, now you're 35. Okay, well, wait. Dude, 40? Game over. And so far, it's like, okay. So it's like, maybe if you continue to like take care of like business, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Operating on.
You're 100% right. If you have discipline,
time comes for us all, though. But
yeah, if you're staying healthy, you're disciplined, and also genetics. We got to be honest about that. If all those are lined up, you're probably going to look great for a long time. I mean, look at fucking Tom Cruise. The guy's like in his mid-60s, and he's a stud.
Well, they like sacrifice small children and shit. It's not the same in Hollywood.
That's a good point.
He might not be the best example.
Small children.
His feet and levels are like 9,000 or whatever, right? Like he's got a place on the soul ship. He's good.
A cult situation going on there.
That's a good. You're right, Jay. You're right.
Tom Brady would have been a better example.
How old's Tom Brady?
I mean, but Tom Brady is also like a professional athlete, like one of the elite.
43.
Yeah,
like, so they have access to elite genetics, but also
they probably screen for like the children melting down in their blood or whatever.
Brady's 47. Okay.
All the science in the world keeping these guys able to do what they're doing. Extremely valuable human beings.
Yeah.
That have.
You ever seen a picture of Brady like when he got drafted and now he looks like almost identical?
Yeah, he does. Like,
just slight aging, just a little aging.
It's like he has that TikTok filter on 24/7, the one that takes away all your wrinkles and stuff. Like he has that 24/7.
Well, the makeup crew, probably following close behind.
So I went to high school in Cleveland, Shaker Heights High School, graduated 04. And LeBron James went to high school the next town over. And he went to St. Vincent St. Mary and he graduated 03. He was a football player and he would come to our school to play our football team and they'd own us. And then when he switched to basketball, this dude would play 1v5 essentially, and they would charge us students at our own school $19 to go in our own gym to watch whenever St. Vincent St. Mary would come. That's how fucking crazy it was. So I saw LeBron when he was like 17, and he signed his Nike deal, and I saw him at a house party in this town called Gates Mills, like big house in the woods, like doctors and lawyers and shit and their kids. And he crashed a house party 4 SUVs deep with a bunch of like 20-something-year-olds. He's 17. And we were like smoking weed out of a fucking apple, and we have like stolen liquor from our parents' house. This fucker rolls up 4 SUVs deep, crashes the party, ruins the party. It was awkward as fuck. Anyway, he looked like a teenager. He was 17 years old. This guy, it's decades later, 2 decades later plus, he looks the same almost. A little bit of graying, a little bit of age, but if you look at his regimen and what
his hairline is gone.
Okay, you got hair is a little special when it comes to men, right? It could come and go. It could go white, or you're gonna be bald, right? There's no in between. But he has daily fucking ice baths, massages. He has a dedicated massage therapist every day that's fucking hitting that meat on the table at least an hour a day, no matter what. Of course, if you're a Holstein bull that's being taken care of by the farmers, there's no fucking way you're gonna age out and look like shit. I got
a LeBron story. I got a friend. I don't know if this is true or not, but my friend's been keeping up with the Diddy case a little bit. I don't know why,
oh boy,
yeah, that's a good question.
Anyways,
all day.
He said, again, this might just be a lie. He said there was an audio clip of Diddy giving LeBron back shots. That's all I'm saying. Isn't that crazy?
No shot.
They played an audio clip. And he's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the Diddy thing's crazy.
Is Diddy that powerful? Is Diddy so powerful that LeBron James is going to take it in the ass from him? I don't think so.
That's what I said.
No.
I was like, there's no way LeBron is just taking it in the ass, bro. There's no way.
Now, someone like Drewski was probably helping Lou shit up for sure. But, like LeBron James? LeBron James? No. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
No fucking way. That's insane.
Fully out of the loop on that stuff.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, me too.
You don't want to know.
You don't know the baby oil memes?
Rabbit hole.
Yeah,
no.
Don't get started.
It's bad.
Well, we don't have to talk about back shots and oil bros. We could change the subject.
You brought up LeBron, bro. I had to.
That's the first thing.
He told me it yesterday. It's like fresh in the brain. I can't just not.
You took a crazy exit off that highway.
You had to share it. You can't just
I can't hold the burden.
Deep, dark secret alone. The burden must be shared.
I feel better. I feel better.
That's fucking hilarious. Guys, you guys started streaming a fucking long time ago. Both of you JTV, right? Like 2010, 2009?
2010.
2010?
Yeah, for me it was definitely 2010, yeah.
I mean, I got to get your high level view on how things have evolved. Bajheera, let's start with you alphabetically. Dude, look at the landscape today. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I just before we even get into it, I was talking about just a teeny bit before we started, but I got to give credit to Rob there for encouraging me to get started streaming. I was making YouTube videos and having a blast, and I was sort of like establishing myself as just some like goofy dude who's making fun content. And Rob was like, "Man, you really got to start streaming." And I was like, "You really?" And he's like, "Yeah, you get to do it live and get to talk to your peeps." And one of my favorite things was always like I would respond to like every comment and like go write thank you for subscribing on people's like YouTube walls when you had that. You could like write a comment on somebody else's stuff.
Yep.
And I would look that closely at my subscribers and I would go thank every new person. And so then interacting with my peeps is like my favorite thing. And I was like, dude, this would be so sick. You could interact in real time. And I started and it was super, super fun. And we've been doing it ever since. But yeah, I just got to give a shout out to Towelliee because he was like one of the real guys who was encouraging me to start that. But yeah, it's been crazy. I'm trying to look, I've been streaming, so that's like 15 years.
Wow.
And things are always changing. Sort of where we are now is, at least for me personally, still a pretty good spot. Still my general experience of what I do looks fairly similar. I get up and I share whatever it is that I'm into with whoever wants to tune in, and at its most zoomed out spot, I mean, I'm just ridiculously grateful that I get to do this, and I feel absurdly lucky that I was doing the right thing at the right time in the right place to still be here now, and looking at what I needed to get out of streaming back then and content creation, what I needed to get out of it then and what I get out of it now. It continues to sort of meet the demands of like what I need in order for it to be a job, which is nuts. But it also still provides me an outlet to interact with people that I get to reach and have some positive impact on my world in some way, whether it's like gaming or fitness or whatever. I still get to have some sort of impact, and I think that's meaningful. But at least it's something that I get to do every day that I like, and I don't know if there's that much more you can ask out of what you do with your day.
Well said. Shit. Towelliee.
Just frame that whole clip.
That was great. Yeah. Clippable moments. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, 15 years. It's crazy because it's 15 years plus, and I still love to do it. It's the crazy part. Like, I think a lot of us that are this old in the game, like back then we were probably thinking, this is probably like a 5-year plan. I got to start like thinking way ahead, start getting all your Roth IRAs in early and all that stuff, get your investments in early. But here we are like 15 years later and somewhat still relevant, I would say. I mean, people, like Bajheera, Towelliee, household World of Warcraft names. We're still playing World of Warcraft somehow.
Yeah.
The game just won't go away. It just won't die. And I think not only, and I think that
we helped. But we're part of that. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, exactly.
We are.
We're part of that. We have like NPCs in the game at this point.
It's
and
fucking
everything.
cool as hell.
Like we've done like so much WoW, and it's crazy to think 15 years later we're still playing the same game and people still like to watch us play that same game. With the side of variety lately, we've been playing our PoEs, right? Bajheera and our D4s, and we've been playing all the good ARPGs, starting to branch out. But I mean, the evolution of Justin to Twitch is crazy. I mean, just the personnel. I think a lot of changes always happen when the company like ownership changes, right? Like it went from me and Justin having to leave a voicemail on an 800 number to get anyone's attention for a question, because I would only see a couple of mods in my a couple of like of the Twitch what were they back then, the Justice TV admins.
It was global.
I wasn't even that dialed in.
Twitch admins, global mods. And there was like a red badge. Remember that, Telly?
Yeah. And the admins would just hang out on my channel. And back then you had to leave messages like if you wanted to get on a phone with them. And it used to be, and then it went from there. It went from like another era where we had what I would call like the golden age, like the coolest people, like Somo when you were there and everything, and Justin was there and everybody, and like whenever they wanted feedback, it wouldn't be some AI bot email we get right now. Like y'all would call us on the phone, be like, hey man, I want to give you a call, like on my actual cell phone, not through like Discord or Raid call or whatever. And then we talk about ideas like, hey man, we're thinking about bringing in this feature. What do you think about it, right? And that has kind of changed over the years, and just the landscape too. We went from having just a couple of thousand partner streamers. Now there's like over 150, 200,000. So for guys me,
were you first wave of partner streamers? I think I was like second.
I was the first WoW partnered streamer.
I remember you when you showed your first ever paycheck on webcam, Tally, from subs. That was like you were like, I got paid to do this. Whoa. It was
like,
crazy.
I just got paid to do this. Is that my address on there? Well, all right. Sorry about that.
Or like you showed like some on a website or something. You're just like, wow, this is real. I just remember that moment. It's like so clearly.
Yeah, I never forget like who called me to ask me like. There used to be a network guy. 2 people called. It was like a 3-way call. I don't know if it was Justin, and then there used to be some network guy called Cyrus, I think his name was.
Yeah, for sure. Glasses, skinny white guy.
Yes.
He's a fucking awesome guy. Yeah.
So before the sub button rolled out, I remember they called me just to get my feedback. Like, hey man, we're thinking about doing this thing where people pay you money per monthly subscription to watch you, and you give them like cool emojis and stuff. And I'm like, they're like, what do you think about that? I'm like, I think that's the greatest idea on earth. We should do that. Like, absolutely. Genius. I don't think anyone's gonna object. To us getting subscribed money. And then like a couple of months later, like I think day 9 was the first ever to get a sub button. I was like the second. Then there was like a few others that came in order, and then eventually, and now I guess everyone now has one. But I mean, the landscape has changed, and it's become way more competitive too. I mean, Bajheera could tell you, I could tell you, like when you have it used to be like everyone was tight knit. And there's still a lot of us that are tight that like we're friends, like we're in our little circle, like Bajheera is a friend of mine. If you know who Sloot is, Sloot is a friend of mine. Right. Panda, he's a friend of mine. But then out of that circle, bro, it's like every man for himself, bro. It's like it's so competitive out there right now, where it used to be not so competitive. Like it really wasn't. Like you still had to work hard for your content, but I mean, we can sit here and talk for 10 hours on all the changes that have happened since Justin and now. It's actually insane. But I think for me, the biggest change has just been like kind of like the evolution of like the website kind of becoming more, I want to say robotic, but more like
corporatized, processed.
Yes. Yeah, more like a corporatized. Whereas before it was kind of like just some dudes in an office, maybe what was it, San Francisco or whatever, just hanging out and just attending to everyone's needs. And now it's like now if you try to get some information from anybody, it's
good luck.
You talk to like 5 different people, man. It's kind of crazy, but other than that, I still wake up every morning. I don't think in 15 years I've woken up and said, I don't want to do this today.
That's awesome.
because I think we're so fortunate to do what we do. You know, I'm a 44-year-old man playing video games for a living. It was a little easier to tell people when I was like 30, like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I do content online, like gaming and stuff. And they're probably like, yeah, this guy's not married. He probably lives in a ditch by himself in some trailer park or something. And all of a sudden, I'm like 44. And now when people see me, they're like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I play video games for a living.
How do I explain this?
How old are you? I'm like 29. Like I'll like lie.
Just lie. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you guys have had such a journey, man. I remember when I first started streaming 13 years ago, I thought I was late. I thought I had missed the train. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna gain popularity in this platform. It's fucked. It's done. Like, this shit started a year ago. How am I supposed to catch up? And playing Arma 2 DayZ mod, within 3 days it blew up, and it was crazy. And then obviously Survivor games and Battle Royale and that whole thing. And I remember when Twitch was asking me to join as a community manager, they invited me to like the OG Twitch office downtown in San Francisco. It was like one little floor in like a corner of a building, and their prized possession, which John Howell was so excited, he's like, we got a fucking kegerator, dude. I was like, wow, these guys are the real deal. And they'd like catered lunch. I was like, whoa, this is fucking insane. He's like, yeah, you want to play into the Elder IPA, dude? I'm like, fuck yeah, I do, man. Like, this is official. And it was like 60 people. And then 4 months later, they're like, all right, or 3 months later, like, all right, we're going through the interview process. You're in. Suddenly it was 120 people, 130 people. And suddenly Amazon's knocking on the door, and they're in a new office, and it just started blowing up so fucking fast. And then it had that golden era where it was like, you know, me, DJ Wheat, Atrioc, and Fish Sticks doing Twitch Weekly. We had the event circuit at PAX. I'd see you guys at every single fucking event. We had the Soma dinners where we'd have, you know, when I was doing the influencer stuff, we'd always have like these fun dinners. And then the golden era of influencer marketing and brand deals. You guys were like champions for me because you guys were so fucking great. By the way, of course. I mean,
we appreciate you, man.
Like, I liked you guys, but also data proved that you guys were good at it. So I mean, like, I couldn't just go to my boss and say, I really like these guys. Give them some money. No, I had to like prove that you guys were good, of course. So you earned it. But it was just a pleasure to work with you guys. So, and there was several people in that era that were amazing. I'd say like 1 in 10 streamers has business acumen and kind of cares. It's fucking insane. You guys are in that bucket. Guys like Ninja, dude. Tyler Blevins would call me after he'd get paid a couple grand for something. He would call my cell phone without me asking. Okay, what did I do wrong? What can I do to be better? How do I follow up? Can I talk to the brand and thank them? Of course that guy fucking blew up and he was fucking hungry. Hungry as fuck. No one was doing that kind of shit. So it was just so cool to see that. And now it is corporatized and processed, and I am disappointed with it. But at the same time, that is the nature of the beast. Whenever something is acquired, the soul is stripped in the name of revenue. And that's just how it is until necessity births something else, right? So Twitch is not cooked completely. It's fun. I still enjoy it, but it's not what it used to be. And you guys are full-time streamers. I do this for fun, so I don't mind shitting on it a little bit. I used to fucking work there. I know what it's like. So I still love Twitch, but
it's good to hear it though, because I have been doing this for a while, but I still I do not think I have any level of grand understanding about how like an acquisition affects things like you're talking about. I mean, I have observed it, and I feel like I have some kind of like experience of it, but I do not think that my experience necessarily translates to like, okay, this is how these things work. That's more like, this is how this one worked. But it's good to hear it from you as well,
dude.
You are somebody who I think has some expertise.
Oh yeah.
I it was so interesting. Like whenever Amazon announced it and we had the meeting, Amazon came in and addressed us in an all hands. And they were like, we acquired the company for $970 million. And this lady, one of the Athena twins, I'm sure you guys know. I won't say their names. But she stood up and she was like, you couldn't ask for 30 more fucking million? It was fucking hilarious.
That's just like them too, bro.
Yes, it is.
Just like them, 100%.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Everyone fucking laughed. Right, it was so fucking funny. They're like, nothing's going to change, guys. It's going to be great. Literally within like months, they essentially had two engineering teams, a Twitch engineering team and an Amazon engineering team. And there was like dueling engineering teams, but Twitch was never going to win. Amazon was going to win. So it was like this slow eating of the old engineering corpse. And suddenly stuff that took a week to accomplish and get done was now 4 weeks. And budgets were slashed, even though it was backed by $1 trillion company now. It just nothing made sense. It was just all backwards. But anyway. We could talk about the golden era all day long, but we could also talk about one of the games that is still in its not golden era, but still somehow alive, which is WoW.
You know what? WoW's going through a renaissance. It's coming.
It is, bro.
It kind of is. Yeah, there's like a new golden age.
If you read the signs about what they're cooking right now, like I have got some tinfoil hat theories, but Rob, I'm sure that actually has like super tinfoil hat theories. You know what I was talking about the other day on stream? I don't think this is actually even that off the wall, but I was like, bro, I've been saying this for a while that like WoW's coming to Game Pass. It's got to. They got it. They're trying to bring WoW to Game Pass and maybe even console is kind of what I'm thinking.
Really?
We had the discussion. I think so.
That's what I say all the time.
Yeah, wow, how is that possible?
Like, this sounds crazy, but I don't think it's actually that insane at all. Like, I think they're doing it.
I mean, they got bought by Microsoft, right?
Well, yes. So some of the justification that I've seen just recently, like this is something that I've like as soon as they got acquired, I was like, that'd be sick if they did that. But recently we've seen the two like big hot topics are like one the 1-button rotation thing, right? And now they are even discussing about a big sort of pulling back of add-ons.
Oh,
that's happening.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, so they're trying to make the game a little bit more accessible from a variety of ways. One, in terms of how you play the game, how you understand the game. And then two, the add-ons thing, where add-ons are not only going to be not necessary, but also not even like allowed certain ones. So and they're also redesigning a lot of like UI elements and about information that's just presented to you like by your choosing on your UI. So it's like incorporating add-ons that are like really like used by like everybody who plays WoW. They just incorporate them into the game, which they've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And then you add all these things together, and it's like, well, yeah. I mean, this is all something that like really would make sense for having WoW be brought to a whole nother audience of people like on console or Game Pass or whatever. And how are they going to get into the game? Well, it's going to make, what are some barriers for the game? It's like one with maybe it's rotationally complex. Boom, 1-button rotation, learn the game through that. It's like, okay, I need a lot of add-ons to play the game or to be able to succeed in the game. Boom, we're not going to make the game require add-ons in terms of how we design it, but also in terms of like what you even can have for add-ons. And it's like, this is happening. It's big.
You know,
and then
hearing that
combine that with all the different versions of World of Warcraft they're doing, like normal classic, SOD, you have the progressive classic stuff, you have
hardcore,
various remixes, and then battle royale modes and stuff, and then you also have retail, which actually continues to be fantastic, and they were doing some like really heads up cool stuff. So it's like the renaissance of WoW is actually progressing. We're in the beginning of it. It's pretty sweet.
I think they're just bored. They're making all these changes because they're just bored.
I don't know. Like some of that evidence makes sense.
Boredom can mean like creativity, right? They're like, what can we do? And they're actually like, they're loosening up a little bit. Instead of being like, we have to make sure that we keep the status quo because WoW is pumping. It's making us some good revenue. It's our main thing. They tried to focus on like a lot of other new IPs over the past 10 years. And those new IPs like Overwatch has done its thing. You know, Heroes of the Storm has kind of done its thing. It's like, why don't we just keep hammering World of Warcraft, which makes us all of our money anyway, and let that continue to succeed? And that's what they're doing, I think.
I don't know.
And if they're like a little bit bored, or they're like bringing new people in, and they're like, let's, instead of just kind of keep WoW where it's at and have it keep making money for us, it's like, why don't we get a little creative here? Actually, just let it go, and because creativity bears risks, right? Sometimes you just got to make sure you keep doing what you're doing. But then when that slows down a little bit, it actually gives you a little bit of wiggle room if you have some courage, right? Like now I can do some things that could have a negative impact, but it could also have a really positive impact. And I think that's what they're doing. Is they're like, we're going to get creative. We're going to do classic. First of all, we're going to do classic World of Warcraft at all, which was like not something they would do for a while. We're going to do classic at all. Okay, cool. It has succeeded. Now we're going to do some sort of weird thing where we like add like new content to classic, which is, again, all of this is coming from the community, by the way.
Right.
Like this is like players being like, we want classic WoW, and they're like, maybe, and then they do it, and it's like, well, we want classic plus, we want new content for classic.
Right.
And they're like, okay, maybe, and then they do it. So there's a lot of like, in my opinion, like creative sort of like loosening that's taking place. They're actually like, let's just do it and go for it. And you could say that it's boredom, which is fair, but it's also like they're willing to actually innovate again, which is so sick.
I
And they're
think
doing it in a lot of different ways.
a little bit ago I said that an acquisition leads to shaving of the soul, dumbing down, and going for revenue, right? Jay is dead on. Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard, which means they need to figure out how to open it up to way more people because they want 10x revenue of whatever Activision Blizzard's doing. With that many billions spent, they want to see a fucking fat return. So it actually kind of worries me when you say one button rotation and making it dumbed down so they can carpet bomb consoles and Game Pass and all the these new potential people that are on the Microsoft and Windows platforms.
Oh man,
it kind of actually worries me now that you're saying that. But if it opens it up to millions of more players,
so maybe I'm a shill, which of course
we're both shills.
You guys are both shills.
However, I think that anything that sort of takes the intimidation out of World of Warcraft, because a lot of people, like a new player, will look at WoW, like that game's been around for 15 years. The community is established. There's a million add-ons. Everybody's screen looks different. I would have no idea what's taking place. And if it's like, well, actually, they've cut down a lot of the other add-ons that you don't actually need. They're designing the game to not really need add-ons as much. And some of the add-ons that are really helpful, they've actually just go ahead and put it in the base UI. And when you play a new class or the game at all, you can sort of have like a tutorial mode where it's like, okay, after this ability, I use this one. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's a little bit less effective to do the one button thing, but it at least teaches you. And so it's shaving away these barriers of entry for WoW. So dumbing down is one way to put it, but that's
the harsh way to put it.
Can also see it. Yeah, I can also see it as like making WoW a much more sort of like
accessible,
welcoming, less scary, accessible game, which I think is awesome.
You know, that's
oh, go ahead.
Go, Robert. I've been talking too much.
I want to say, like, I'm still with the I think they're bored spiel because I always say this, right? Like, at some point in my brain, I hear in my chat every day, well, it's coming to console, and it's just like embedded in my brain. I hate it so much because I'm saying that I always say to myself, I'm like, if you could play WoW on console, like, would you? I guess is the better question, right? Like, would you do it? Like how many players are out there that are saying to themselves, well, you know what? Gosh darn it, I'd play this 20-year-old MMO on a controller and a PS5 or Xbox if I had a chance through Game Pass. I'm like, I just don't think the market's out there for it.
There's no MMOs on console.
Huh?
You know,
there's
no MMOs on
console. Final Fantasy.
Well, but here's the thing, and that brings me to the next point. It's actually harder to develop and release for console MMORPGs on console. Like, you could probably ask Yoshi P, the producer of Final Fantasy. Sure. He goes back in time. He would never have put Final Fantasy on console because you got to go through like the certificate approval process from Sony, from Microsoft. You got to go through so many loops and holes, and I don't think anyone wants Blizzard to have to go through that. But I mean, I could see where everyone's saying, oh, they got acquired by Microsoft, they're going to go on console. Also note that since they've been acquired by Microsoft, they've had more layoffs in the past, like, probably year than Activision had with them in the past, like, 5 or 6.
Pretty common with acquisitions.
And Bajheera could vouch for this because he plays WoW every day like I do. Notice how MD, and this was you, Soma, you were saying that, you know, they got to make all that money back from the $69 billion that they purchased. Last 3 months, since probably December, Bajheera, every 2 weeks, there's now a new $35 mount in the store, a new transmog, a new pet. It's actually overwhelming, and I usually buy all of it. I haven't been buying most of it because it's too much.
Too much.
If you were to actually buy everything they've presented in the shop since December, you would already have spent about $500
in the last month.
No, since December.
Oh, damn! That's significant.
That's like $100 a month, and this is a game that we're paying $15 a month for. And I'm saying to myself, bro, that's how they're probably trying to get all their money back. They're doing all this like sub to us for 6 months, but pay your 6 months up front, pay your 1 year up front, get these mounts. And then just a couple days ago, here's another mount pack, $35. And I'm just like, no way, man. Like, this has got to be like a Microsoft thing. So, I mean, to maintain a console version, I feel like you would need a team that does that specializes in that, right?
The Xbox team would take over that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, like, is it worth it for a 20-year-old MMO? I mean, it's great to bring in new players.
That's a good question.
I think the one button thing is pretty cool. And I don't know if you know what the one button thing is. I don't know if you've seen it. It's literally just Blizzard dictates what they think is your proper rotation, and then they put it into one button, and you just smash the button. you don't have to keybind anything. It's just
it is definitely worse. Like it's not like a one button like optimized. So you will do the best DPS. You have a global cooldown penalty on it, and it's maybe not even correct most of the time. It's just like it's just a way. It's like a way to play the game. If one, you're learning, or two, like it's
optional. I can have my hotbar how I want it. Otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't played in a while, to be honest. So it's
so if you wanted to come back, you're like, what the heck am I doing? You're like, you're turning it on. Like, okay, so I
don't know
charge,
if I can come back.
I Mortal Strike. Oh, okay, overpower. Oh, okay, cool. Now I can execute. Okay, cool. And then you just do it on your own, right? So it's like a learning tool. But for people who are like, you know, they're differently abled, it might be really nice for them to be able to do that, right? And I think that's cool.
A good
Or they
point.
just want to like watch it. They just want to watch a stream and just like, you know, farm AoE farm mobs and just like press a button.
Fucking Bajheera is so positive all the time. He always sees the fucking bright side. Jesus.
It's a choice. It's a choice. It's
Jesus. See, look, even right now. Sorry, Roberto. Go ahead.
I said that one button to me. What I always say is that it just makes really bad DPSers better. That's all it does.
That's not bad, actually. You need that help in the raid.
When this thing launches in a couple of weeks, you're going to see LFR DPS go up minimum 30%. It's just going to be dudes who like have good gear. Maybe they're too slow or too old to hit their buttons in an organized manner. Then they're like, it's look at me.
They can hang now. Yeah.
I went on a PTR and I live streamed every single spec doing the one button. And I'm saying to myself, I'm gonna have so much fun with this. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna blast because I know somewhat what I'm doing in WoW, obviously. But I've always wanted to play these specs that I've never played before because they were always too complex, like a sub rogue or a feral druid or whatever. And now I'm just gonna hit one button and do a lot of damage, and people are probably gonna get mad at it. And that's gonna make a really good TikTok for me. It's gonna be great.
I hope. I was saying this. I hope people use that one button rotation in PvP against me, bro. Do it. I dare. Oh baby. Come in BGs and try to one button me in PvP.
That's hilarious.
Please do that.
Jay, you came back
in my next montage so fast.
I love a good Bajheera warrior montage. Jay, you came back for WoW for a while. Did you play? Was it Classic or Season of Discovery? Like, what did you think?
Classic. I played it all. I just don't play retail. Yeah.
Nice, man.
So what is it about retail that you don't like, but SOD and Classic was okay?
I just grew up on it, I guess. I don't know. I never had my parents were kind of broke when I grew up, so I never had a WoW sub, so I only played private servers. So they're all like TBC or Wrath and stuff.
Same, I played.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. So what do you guys think about...
Private servers are like oh, sorry.
Go.
Yeah, I'll tell. Private servers, for anyone that doesn't know, is like the dark hole of like WoW. Like but it's kind of like awesome low key though. Like, cause I've done like max level private servers a couple of times, even like when we're not supposed to, because Blizzard doesn't like us doing that. We can't just like advertise it.
Yeah.
But
you remember?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, you guys remember Arena Tournament, right? Remember the old private server? Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they used to host events on there for Arena.
Yeah.
Like before Blizzard had their own like Arena tournament.
I did some tournament casting for some of the private servers, and then they hired me to do tournament casting. So
sounds about right.
So.
But yeah, private servers are fun. I like them a lot. I wish they would allow us to play because there's some really cool mods out there now. Like I think it's called like Turtle WoW and Ascension WoW.
Turtle WoW, that's right.
Yeah, there's all this cool stuff.
I don't really keep up with it, but I think Turtle WoW is actually doing so good that like Blizzard's taking some of their ideas.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, there are people who are passionate about the game and they will be like, "That's a good idea. We should do that." And I think that definitely happens.
So WoW is not the only MMO. It's definitely the best one. SWTOR was fun for a while. It was fun, being a Sith and a Jedi for a little bit. It was not the best game. I know. I actually revisited it like a couple years ago.
I miss it so much.
Yeah, it's fun. Fucking, I don't know, Star Wars shit. We'll talk about Andor and Rogue One here in a minute. But I wanted to bring up Ashes of Creation. So does Ashes of Creation have legs? Like, what do you guys think? Towelliee? Jay played it, right? Did you play it on stream?
Yeah, I played it.
Let's start.
I haven't played it.
You want me to kick it off?
Yeah, you kick it off, Jay. You kick it off.
For it.
The leveling, terrible. The leveling is group mob farming off of respawns. That's it. There's no like. I played like the first or the second one, so it might be a little different. But the quest and the work and shit. And I'm talking, it's hours to go from level 1 to level 5. Hours, and then you get to level 10, and it's like 2 hours to get to level 11, and you sit there, and you just. It's like dungeon leveling. You guys know when like new expansions come out and you get your 5-man and go dungeon level. It's like that, but open world with competition and stuff. it gets so toxic. People stealing your tags and stuff. But the PvP was very, very WoW-like, I will say. Yeah, it seemed pretty similar. Like they definitely copied it a bit.
Is it tab targeting and like action kind of combat, like aiming shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You swap between the two, I think.
And how is that? Does it feel good?
Yeah, I played Mage. It was pretty fun. Like it felt pretty sick to play it. You're kind of playing like a first person like WoW Mage almost. I'm trying to think of that. No, it's not first person, but you know, in the sense where you gotta like aim your shit and
right.
Some, you know, you shoot out like Frostfire Orb, like they have that and stuff. They got Lightning Orb.
Cool. Interesting. What do you think about Ash's Towelliee?
We always meme on it on our channel. We're like, you know, Ashes coming out 2048 or
yeah, basically.
What's gonna come out first, Ashes or what's the space game that's like funded for $1 billion now or whatever?
Star Citizen.
Jay's been streaming that recently.
I've been playing that lately, bro. I've actually got hooked.
It looks cool. That I'd rather try. But I mean, Ashes, like I've played a lot of like the little like private like NDA play tests or whatever, and it's pretty cool. But I don't know, man. And Bajheera's gonna hate me for this, but I think they're focusing way too much on PvP stuff. And like,
oh, what a shame.
It's like when I played Diablo, everyone's like, "They don't even PvP in Diablo." I'm like, "Bajheera does."
I love it. Season 0 PvP was so fun, man.
He sits there in Diablo 4 waiting for someone to come into that PvP.
I built a character that my little baby boy was able to dunk on people with on a controller. By the way,
that's awesome. Did you ever Diablo 2 duel back in the day?
That was before my time.
Dude,
I've heard tales though.
I almost failed 9th grade because of that shit.
Oof.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I got a 1.6 GPA my freshman year. They almost held me back, and I said, "I promise I'll do better." And I would still sneak Diablo 2, and finally I had to stop, and I was able to turn it around. Then I got addicted to Halo, but anyway, that's a different story.
Yeah, speaking of Star Citizen. Oh, sorry. I was just say, speaking of Star Citizen, you ever played it, Soma?
I have, yeah.
Like actually played it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I have my little ship. I've done the thing. I've played it for like maybe like 30 hours. It's fucking hard. There's a lot of shit to remember. I played it like a couple years ago, like a year and a half ago, something like that, 2 years ago. So it wasn't the best.
I, like every Star Citizen owner, have owned it for like 6 years and never actually played it because it's always been dog shit. You know, I hop in, you do the first quest, you kill 10 mobs and 9 of them spawn, and you're just like, what am I playing here? This game's been out for 8 years.
Yeah, but, it's definitely, it was buggy, but.
You know what it is? I realized it after I've been playing for like a week now. It's just DayZ in space. That's literally it. It's the same game, just in space.
That sounds awesome.
With like a little less content, but very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like the dogfighting and like the space shit it's cool, but I could not hang. Like I was using a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, no.
And there's these fucking nerds that have a complete fucking setup, and they're just like running circles around me. And I like I like PvP. I'm with Bajheera. I play games for full loot PvP. I want to make you cry, and if you make me cry, good. I'm coming right back at you. I want to take all your shit, and I want it to be fucking visceral and real. That's why I love DayZ so much. So if you're saying that like Star Citizen has like full loot shit now and stuff,
Star Citizen is, except right now you don't lose your gear for some reason because it's like, I don't know.
Interesting.
So you don't lose the items you wear, but you just take all their stuff. But yeah, like people, they go open world, they like hunt over these resources and they put it in their ships, and you can just like pull up on them, kill them, take everything they own, take all their cargo, steal their shit. It's pretty cool. I came around to it. The problem is there's just nothing to fucking do sometimes. Like
except grief other people.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're either like farming these 1 or 2 areas, or you're just PvPing. So.
And that's what happened, like, when they were streaming, like, the Ashes of Creation, like, alpha on Twitch. It was basically streamers at, like, level 2 getting camped by, like, level 40s in the starting area. And I'm just... And people are... And that I mean, to show that was really bad, I think.
That's crazy.
That's
not optimal.
No shot I'm playing this game, and I'm just going to get camped by a bunch of no-lifers who played on the first 5 days because they paid for early access.
It's like, those guys don't want anybody playing their game.
That's hilarious.
I mean, those level 40 guys, it's like, let's just go ahead and shoot this.
Their guild name is Gatekeepers. The Gatekeepers Guild.
Ashes is just a really ambitious project. Like, I think if they can pull it off, it'll be a good game. Like, I think nowadays, in order for any MMORPG to be like recognize as being good, you got to have a solid foundation. You got to have like, PvP is great. I love watching it. I used to love doing it.
Though, I don't think.
Yeah,
but you can't revolve your game around that. And I know the guy who owns the joint, he is huge. What was Arc Age guy? So he's putting a lot of that Arc Age PvP stuff in there. People are right now are like, oh, I don't know, dude. Like, can we have some more raids and some more dungeons and more PvE content and outdoor world stuff? And I feel like that game might be, because look, that game's going to be played more than any other MMO in the last like 10 years on launch week. I'm pretty sure they're just gonna throw money at creators. I already know that's already happening.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna throw money at us to play it, and it's gonna have 1 million people watching on Twitch. But it has to deliver. Like, people have to be attracted to it. And right now, I think it doesn't really have an attraction. Like, all we know is that people are being camped in their spawns. The leveling is grindy as if it was vanilla, which is like, that's just not
worse than vanilla. Way worse.
So many people are gonna log off.
That's how
so
WildStar
fast.
failed.
Yeah.
That's how WildStar failed. Their mentality.
Yeah, I think Ash is DOA. There's no way.
Damn.
It's like, I swear to God, they've never played another MMO. Like, they don't even know how to level a character up. They're like, what you enjoy about leveling, doing quests and like making them engaging. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. If they couldn't get block 1 figured out, I don't think the rest is gonna hold up. Just in my opinion.
Yeah. But and I agree. I think it's gonna be one of those games where, because everyone's being paid to play it for like a couple of weeks, it's gonna be like the star of the show, and then it's gonna turn into like New World. We're just like not gonna hear about it for like 6 months to a year afterward.
I played New World for a long time after the hype wave.
Me too.
Yeah,
New World's actually amazing. I actually love New World. It's the only game I like the PvP in, actually. It's the only game I like the PvP in.
Yeah.
I do think there's so much charm to like vanilla leveling where you're just out questing and you turn around, some dude's just beelining at you to beat your ass, some other guy leveling next to you. I love that shit. Like, when you get to STV and WoW, it feels so good. And that's why I think New World, kind of did it right with the open world stuff.
Yeah, they did it great.
Bajheera, what do you think about Ashes? Are you gonna try it out?
I have been I've been following it very lightly. I've sort of adopted the idea of like, I wish them the best. I'm keeping an eye on it. When there's like some juice behind it, like when there's like some big hype that sort of pulls the greater MMO community into it, I think I would love to check it out. Right now, it's just like hopping into it kind of randomly. I'm just not sure how that really fits in with my content overall. And like a lot of that is like me as a content creator. It's like I gotta go where there's like a little bit of like, draw, And so if I'm gonna just hop in a game like super randomly, it probably is unlikely that I'll be able to put a lot of time into it, even if it's like fun to check out. If I stream it, stream's like about it, then it's like, okay, cool, we'll keep an eye on it. So I just haven't even done that first jump in yet. But if it's from what I'm hearing, if it's like a PvP thing, that's like, ringing some like, okay, cool bells to me. But the more that I play games and stuff, I mean, when I was like first starting off on WoW, I was like, the idea like, yeah, anything casual sucks, anything PvE sucks, it's all about the PvP. And as I've played more, I have matured in my perspective where it's like, yeah, casual stuff 100% carries games. Most people who play games are just logging in and just like want to chill and just like do PvE and collect mounts and stuff, and that's 100% fine. And if you don't have content for those people, they're not gonna play. They're gonna log in. They're gonna be trying to do their quests, and some mean old warrior named Bajheera is gonna come over and execute them. They're like, this game sucks. I got killed at level 1. This guy's level 2. I'm out of here. And that's real. So they absolutely will need to have some kind of like non-PvP zones to do. They're gonna have to have some non-PvP stuff. Like, even for me, like, I love PvP, but I also enjoy action RPGs, which are not very PvP heavy games. So I like making gains. I want to get in there and I want to like progress my character. I want to get some cool loot. I want to have some cool like skill options for making my character feel more powerful, and then go kill more powerful enemies and get stronger loot. And that's a fun loop. And if the loop is for an MMO, go kill some mobs, get some loot, have somebody kill you and take it, then that could be really fun for people who enjoy that kind of stuff. But you're cutting out 80% of people who play games, maybe more. They're not interested in that experience, I don't think. And so an MMO, potentially even more than any other game, has to have a massive player base to succeed. And if you are cutting out a gigantic chunk of the players who are going to enjoy that game by the very nature of how the game is set up, I mean, you're setting yourself up for a rough time, I think. So,
I can guarantee you right now, my title on Ashes of Creation launch day is going to be Observe Bajheera camping me in my spawn point.
I will not be camping nobody. I gotta get levels so I can then camp. You can't be camping.
Okay.
You gotta
I just won't
do
stream
the
for a
strats.
day.
You gotta do the speed run strats to
we'll
get
make
really
it look
powerful,
good.
so that when the people that you're trying to fight are gonna be able to summon their whole guild to come fight you, you just kill their whole guild because you're like 10 levels above. But no, I don't know if I can even sweat that hard in a game like that. But no, you can't be camping at level 2. You gotta be camping at level 10. Then you camp at level 2s.
He's got it down.
We're doomed.
Yeah. Wow.
We're doomed.
Holy shit. Well, I think that it's been interesting watching how the MMO genre just didn't fucking evolve and change like we all thought. I remember back in the day, there was that fucking, all right, who's going to eat WoW's lunch movement, where everyone was fucking throwing millions and millions, WildStar, SWOTOR, just fucking tons of skeletons, Rift, tons of skeletons on the road behind World of Warcraft. Just the road of skulls, really. And Ashes, I agree that it's probably going to fail. So, I mean, what the fuck happens to MMOs? I don't know. It's maybe WoW just goes on forever, and it's
only one left is Riot.
Yeah, the league. That's a good point.
Yeah.
League of Legends MMO. That could
and
be
I
interesting.
think that's a good final hope to have. To be honest, as a Riot product.
Yeah.
The fact that they had to redo everything because Ghostcrawler left was so bad, man.
Yeah, that was somewhat recently too, right? Just a few years ago.
Yeah, and
that's
not
good.
even a year ago.
Not even a year.
No, it's pretty recent.
No. It's been about 2 years. It was almost a little bit after COVID that.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
Left, but it wasn't the fact that he just left. He left and he took all the people from Riot that were all former World of Warcraft devs like Candace and Halinka. You know, he has Halinka from the PvP team from WoW went with him, and now he's like a big wig in his new company. And they're not even making like a full-fledged MMO. They're just making like a very casual, I can't say much, but they're just making like a very like normal short-term MMO so they can get it out. But that thing's crazy because then what was it, like the president of Riot had to go out on an article and say, look, we've had some issues and we don't see the vision of our game going in the right direction. So we're going to have to start from scratch. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, Ghostcrawler just cost these guys like 4 years of development time. Like we could have already been having the Riot MMO by now.
It's insane. Easily. That's fucking crazy.
And he left, and he left for whatever reason. I think it might have been family. He just wanted to work remotely. He didn't want to travel anymore, I guess. But I mean, he kind of left and just poached everybody, bro. And then left that team for dead. And now, even recently, I think a few devs have left from the WoW Blizzard team to go now for Riot to try and see if they can revive the MMO thing. So we don't know when that's going to happen. I'm going to say that's probably maybe like another 4 years out from anything relevant coming to pass. But
fucking A.
But yeah, but I mean,
well, there you go.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, dude, I think WoW is just going to be #1 forever.
That's 100% the truth.
That's it.
Like, if you want to make an MMO, awesome, like do that, but don't be trying to come for the king. Like, no, WoW is the king for a reason, and it will continue to be.
I got the hot.
Yeah, you can argue right now that it's #1, 2, and 3, and 4 with all the different versions they have. Like,
yeah.
It's tough out in those streets for the other MMOs, man. It's rough in those streets.
And
like I don't know what they're doing.
What I think people do is they are constantly just trying to find the game that they can play like they used to play WoW. And it's like if you've played so much WoW that you're burnt out, fair enough, but no other game is going to be WoW. And like that's just tough.
That's the chase of the dragon shit.
Yeah. They want the game that they can spend all their time on, and it's like no game is going to do that for you.
And it's going to what like Soma was saying, right? Like nothing will topple World of Warcraft as an IP in the MMO genre unless there ever is an evolution of the genre. But the whole thing, just like an FPS, just like a survival game, right? It's really hard to evolve in today's gaming world. Like I think we've hit these ceilings, right? I mean, I guess we can agree we've like hit the walls really hard.
True.
Like it's really hard to evolve a genre, right? Like you look at the MMORPG
it's hard
genre.
to evolve in general. I mean, it's hard to evolve our content. Like it's just, but then someone does it, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I?
Exactly.
And for WoW, we've been waiting 20 plus years for it to happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, what is an MMORPG? It's a character. You're leveling. You're hitting things. You're getting gear, you're doing dungeons, you're doing raids, you're PvPing,
cooperating with people.
Yeah.
And hanging out with your friends. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And being a part of the community. Like that is the MMO foundation. And I don't even know if it's possible where or how it can evolve past that. I've sat on my toilet for tons of years, on and off, obviously, and thought to myself, how are we gonna evolve from this? Like, what's the next
What's a
step?
new way to shit? Oh.
Yeah.
Not
Dude.
where I was going. Not where I thought you were going.
With WoW,
How can I shit new?
upside down? I don't know. So with WoW, I noticed that a lot of people just fucking hang out on their flying mount and org or fucking Stormwind, and they just hang out and trade chat, and they just bullshit. They whisper their buddies, they talk to their guildmates. It's because that's where their friends hang out, and they're willing to pay $15 a month to hang out in that world instead of just doing it in Discord.
Doing,
Oh my god.
Cyber
you know what they're doing, Soma?
What?
They're farming their slash blade. That's what.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And probably having cyber sex too. Let's be honest.
That's
I've
so
seen
nice.
what
That's
happens in the
That's where the
Goldshire
Dungeon
Inn. I've seen Goldshire Inn. I know what goes on in there. Okay.
I'm very
The
familiar
night
with
elf.
the place.
Yeah, come on. I've seen night elves dance in there. Okay. So if you guys don't
By the
mind,
light of a loon, bro. Jeez. No night elves, bro. They don't play. You seen them backflips?
Anyway, I wanted to bring up. I'm gonna pivot. I wanted to bring up like TV and shit and movies. If you guys are okay with it.
Wait, I got one more.
Do it.
Bajheera, Towelliee, have you guys played Dark and Darker at all?
Oh,
A bit.
Once.
A bit.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. That's not relevant. I was just gonna say, I think that game's too PvP because you're saying earlier like PvP can't carry a genre and like how Ashes is a little too focused on it. I think that's the Dark and Darker problem at the moment. They're so focused on the PvP.
Games that are like super focused on PvP, they're already just targeting a kind of like a small like group. For me, like a Dark and Darker game would, if it had stronger character progression beyond just I like what I liked is I liked leveling my character and unlocking like talents and traits and stuff. And then I had a bit of a build that was a little bit more like, because I'm not that great at it, so like if I can at least have some gains that are like locked in, and then you can do the gear stuff after that. That's one of the things that I would like, because full loot PvP I can respect, but I do like the actually like sort of long-term progression, and that's something that I would miss in a game like that.
When I worked at Iron Mace, what the fuck did I say all the time? This used to be a Dark and Darker podcast, gentlemen. The Darkest Hour.
Okay.
Welcome to Subclass
I was
Soma.
I was the head of Subclass Soma is what they used to call me, because I begged the game director to fucking do something with character progression, talent trees, like subclassing, anything, because I knew that's the kind of progression system that will hook a person. Because if there's like multiple,
only been tried and true for 20 years.
Exactly. And it's just, dude, it's so fucking frustrating. You're absolutely right, Bajheera. I think it would have changed Dark and Darker's complete trajectory. 100%. But it's too late.
We've not talked about this beforehand. So this is
it's
So you tell me they've never done that? They've never actually done what you told them to do? Their suggestions? They still say the same, or?
When they came out with their talent tree, they went to multi-classing.
Oh.
So they, instead of specializing your class, they combined all the classes. And it was a fucking disaster. It was an absolute joke.
A lot of people quit.
Yeah.
I would imagine, I mean, that's kind of like a little, how do we say, lazy way of doing things.
Game breaking, that too. It's lazy and a game breaks the game.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Bajheera?
I was just like, that's what would be interesting to me. They do have Steel and Sorcery now. Is that what that is? That's like like quite a bit more sort of fantasy, sort of full loot PvP kind of deal.
Yep.
But yeah, I was just gonna say they had some level of like you unlock skills and you can sort of like select a couple of them that you can put on your character. And I thought that was cool. But
perks.
A much deeper system like that would have drawn me in much more.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I wish the best to Iron Mace. Good luck, fellas. So I just finished Andor season 1 and 2 and Rogue One back to back. And holy shit, that is Andor season 1 and 2 is by far the best of Star Wars. And you guys are in the middle of season 2 right now. Jay, did you watch it?
I didn't get past episode 1.
Of season 1 of Andor?
Maybe I'll try. I'll try it again.
Of season 1 or 2?
Here's the thing. So season 1 and 2, they both lean very heavily. I'm extremely passionate about Andor, by the way, so here we go.
Let's do it.
They both are a little bit slow in the beginning. They do a lot of world building. They do a lot of like setting the stage. And if you're prepared for that, just like breathe it in, because the world that they create in Andor out of the Star Wars universe is, in my opinion, the best of any Star Wars content that has been made. And of course, like if you're super OG, they're like, of course, the first Star Wars ever made are the best Star Wars because they're the ones that did it. Fair enough, awesome, but like no, Andor is the best that Star Wars has produced, in my opinion, for sure.
It's like a patience Padawan situation for the beginning of both seasons. I've only seen season 1, so
yeah, sure, no spoilers.
And Rogue One.
However, yeah, it will. Like, I don't remember like 100%, but is it like maybe episode 4 where you're like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's a
and
slow burn.
It's like that at season 1 and 2. Season 2 actually also started a little bit slow. I've been watching them with my dad. So that my parents come to, they live fairly close. They come to visit every couple weekends. So like we're digesting it very slowly. So I have like 3 episodes left.
Torture.
But yeah. So we're not. Yeah, me and Jenny don't watch a lot of shows right now. Kindergarten is a half day. So it's like, hey, how you doing over there? You doing good? All right, cool. Like But soon we'll be like able to have like a more full day, and we can go back to having like date days where we just like watch like a show, like 8 episodes of a show in one day or something like that. But Jenny's gonna get caught up on Andor here when the school year starts, and that's gonna be a fun time too. But anyway, yeah. So maybe like episode
only a
4.
half day? I didn't know that.
Yeah, kindergarten's like a half day for us. He's doing a great job though. But yeah, about maybe episode 4 of both seasons, things will start to heat up a little bit. So if you will trust me and your good friend Jordan, trust us, bro. It's turbo worth it. You are in for like the best like, writing, the best like things that I'm not like usually super dialed in on. I like stories and stuff, but like even just like the set is tremendous. Like the costume design is fantastic. The writing, the acting, it's actually incredible.
It just feels it just feels mature, and the Empire isn't a bunch of fucking corny stooges. They actually are dangerous as fuck, and you actually fucking feel it. Experience. And you feel like you feel connected to their movement and the rebellion at the end, especially if you watch Rogue One right as soon as Andor season 2 ends. I recommend that, by the way, because it picks up right then.
Season 2 was getting like real for me. I was having like a problem. I was like, this is like way too close to reality.
Wait, Rogue One's a movie, right?
Rogue One's a movie.
That's the movie. Yeah,
which is also an excellent movie. Oh, like the Star Wars thing. So I mean, everybody's like somewhat familiar with like Star Wars in general, right? Have we all seen Rogue One?
Yeah.
Yes. I think I've seen them all. I just don't remember them.
Okay, so one of the things that I love so much about Star Wars is that the entire Star Wars like storyline is all these moments of just the smallest sliver of hope that you have to cling to incredibly fiercely, but that one sliver of hope is like what actually lets you continue to succeed, like just barely, right? And so the entire season of Andor, all this like insane stuff that happens, like I have not watched a TV show and felt nervous in my stomach like ever, and Andor actually did that to me. And it's all of this, all these tiny little slivers of possibility leading to this moment where freaking Darth Vader is hacking through people, and you get the data disk through this tiny little opening in the door, and like that's what Star Wars is, and that's what Andor is, and that's what it's all about. Just this doing everything in your power to keep the smallest sliver of hope alive, because that's actually what is required to like overcome evil. It's insane.
Yeah, you know what's really frustrating is that Disney allowed some really smart people to create Andor in the Star Wars universe, right? In the Star Wars saga, and in the same fucking company, the same high up brass in Disney Star Wars also allows slop like Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, to come out. Or
that was terrible.
Like what? How is that even possible? How do top brass at Disney go, you know what? I don't care if you guys are legacy and you guys have been in Hollywood and attached to the shit for decades. You're fired because you guys are fucking up and you guys don't care anymore. How was that allowed to go? What do people like Kathleen Kennedy and the top brass of Star Wars that have been there for a long time, what dirt do they have on some of those executives to not get fired for being bad at their jobs? I know that I cannot just blame 1 or 2 people, but when that many sloppy things happen, like Obi-Wan was both great and awful. One episode, you would be like, wow, this is sick. And then the next episode, you have little Leia fucking ducking under some like crazy assassin guy, and like the Benny Hill music's playing and shit. You're just like, what is this? How is this the same thing?
I said the same thing when I was watching it. I'm like, why is this show so good, but it's also the most horrible shit I've ever seen in the Star Wars universe?
It doesn't make sense. So then you see something like Andor season 1 and 2 and Rogue One, and you're like, those people that wrote that shit and made that, give them all the money. Give them all the money. fucking put them in a golden handcuff, those motherfuckers, and just let them cook.
Yeah.
I don't
think
understand.
Andor even gets enough credit.
No, not at all.
Like,
not at all.
It's actually like it's not even just the best Star Wars. It's actually like the best like media that we have produced in a very long time, in my opinion. Like people were freaking out about Game of Thrones, and maybe for good reason. But like Andor, I mean, I don't know. It's like topical. This is like it's informative. It's instructional. It's like.
Yeah.
When I watch Andor, I don't know if I want to get into this. When I watch things like Andor, I wonder what happens when some people watch this and they think they're the good guys. Like I don't want to get into that too deep, but it's like
we can go wherever you want.
This is some real stuff. Yeah.
I'll talk about real life shit. I don't give a fuck. I'll jump off that cliff with you. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely felt close to them, which is probably why it was like easier to connect to, right? Like seeing the like I used to be a nuke guy in the Air Force. I used to think that I was a Death Star employee. That's the joke I would make. I'm a Death Star. I would load the B-61 tactical nuke. I was the guy with the black helmet putting the fucking handle up on the Death Star and then ducking while the fucking green beam goes. That was me. That's awful. That's fucking terrible. I used to think the American Empire was bad then. Now today, fuck me, I'm worried. But anyway. So
I want to believe the sliver of hope,
sliver of
courage
hope.
In the darkness. It's needed. We got to keep working together. We got to keep loving each other because
I agree.
That is required. So
my job in the background these days. 6 months ago, I was the executive producer for that Bernie Sanders, Mark Hamill, Mark Cuban stream that was on Twitch with Valkyrie, Austin Show, Pokimane, and Skuno. Yep. And we just did another one with Atrioc, Doug, Newsom, Cory Booker. And look, I'm a registered independent. I think it's all fucked. I hate MAGA, I hate Trump, and I think the Democrats are totally fucking evil too. I think it's all bad. But I needed money. And we need to fucking fight back against the fucking Trump campaign bullshit. So any voice that's against that shit, I'll fucking help elevate. But anyway, I'm
confused.
What are you confused
about?
about?
Watch Andor.
What are you confused about?
Watch Andor, and then we'll see what you think.
Yeah, exactly.
All this political shit, I don't know any of it.
Don't. Well, pay attention. You should pay attention.
There's politics, and there's just dang near just taking care of each other, and that's what has to happen regardless. So, yeah.
Well,
what was that other bad Star Wars show? I didn't even finish it because
Acolyte.
Yes.
Quimer was cool. The Sith guy.
Episode 5, and I couldn't go anymore. Like
I think my dad pre-screened a lot of these for me. He's like, because he's watching it, and it's like if it's worth, cool. And I think that like none of them really like hit that. It's like you got to watch this. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, Acolyte was disappointing. The antagonist was badass. Quimer, whatever his name was, that mask. Yeah. That was fucking cool. But yeah, it was disappointing. Like they just took it in a direction that was odd. Like they could have just made the entire show about that guy. Why not just make the show about Quimer?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure who shows up at the end of Acolyte? The Sith guy.
I couldn't tell you.
He's the guy that like trained. He was Sidious's master.
Oh yeah, his master.
Plagueis. Thank you. Darth Plagueis shows up. You see Plagueis in the background with his yellow eyes, and he's watching. Cool. Why couldn't Acolyte just be Quimer and Plagueis, and the whole show revolves around Quimer and what he's doing? That would have been 20x better.
For more.
Well, it's not going to be made anymore. It's done. They're not going to make the season 2. They canceled it.
Rip.
It is a big rip. And Andor, unfortunately, the best of it all is a contained story and a prequel. So
I think that's like actually good. Because I learned this way back in my sophomore year of high school. I was like obsessed with Prison Break. I was like, Prison Break is the best. This is such a good story. This is insane. And I was like, they better not make this actual like 14 season show. They should end Prison Break season 1, create something wonderful, and then let the art be. And then they made 14 seasons of it or something like that, right? Like, and so it's like Prison Break, Escape from the Bahamas, or like whatever. Like it's like
El Salvador edition.
Yeah, so it's like, but with Andor, they did the dang thing. They poured it all into 2 just fantastic seasons of like I said, excellent writing, excellent set, excellent acting, excellent like storyline, and they told the story, and it leads into something that we know ends a particular kind of way, but you're still like, how did it all happen, right? And so I'm actually happy that it's like ending the where it is. But now,
yeah, that's a good point.
Hopefully, that team needs to be kept airtight. That they need to be kept intact, and they need to do other amazing things. We'll see.
Are you guys watching Last of Us?
Nope.
Not. Oh wait, no, I saw season
this
1.
week.
Yeah. I saw season 1.
I saw season 1.
It's good. Season 2 is great.
Good, excellent.
Yeah, it's darker. Season 2 gets darker. I mean, you guys know the games. Like, shit.
Sure. Yeah, and that's the crazy part to me is like that's what I loved. And me and Lula, like, we're watching. We watched Last of Us like when it first aired, and we're gonna start watching this season this weekend. And we always told each other like it's so amazing, like whoever directed and produced the entire show, just how you can side by side the game with the show, and it's almost like exact. The town, the people, like the cart in the right hand corner.
Yeah,
it's almost like they copy pasted it, but in a good way. I think they did a good job.
Staying true.
And there's some good jump scares in that first season, though. But it's very emotional. Like people always say, "Oh, Pedro Pascal is so overrated. He's in everything." I'm like, yeah, because he's fucking good.
He's good.
I love Pedro.
He's so good. He can play like any role, and just his emotions it's a switch. It just flips. He could just be a totally different person with a totally different set of emotions. It's like insane watching him. After a little while, I was a little tired of him. I was like, man, this guy's in everything, but fuck, he's good.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't wait for Fantastic Four. I'm stoked.
You know, a movie was good with Pedro was the Nicolas Cage one.
Yeah,
the unbearable weight of.
I thought that one
something talent.
Yeah, something like that. I thought it was pretty good.
That was funny.
That was a good movie. I like that one.
Jay, speaking of movies, did you watch Interview with a Vampire yet?
No. So.
Like the movie?
I did just
on your list for
the movie. Have you guys seen Interview? The 1994 classic Interview with a Vampire.
Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, baby, what's her name?
Reese Witherspoon.
See, why didn't you just say this?
Kirsten Dunst.
Why didn't you say
Kirsten
this
Dunst.
stuff?
Okay,
I told you a million times.
Tom Cruise,
Antonio Banderas is in there.
Antonio Banderas, yeah.
Come on, and you got to see it.
Bajheera, who's that guy? That's the guy from Spy Kids,
I'll put it
right?
on my list. So Jenny was actually talking to me about this because she's been writing, right? And one of the books that she's writing is potentially able to be set up in, I think, a similar way to how that was it a book originally, or is it a movie?
The Vampire Chronicles, yeah, Anne Rice.
Yes,
I devoured those books. Yeah.
I'm not spoiling a dang thing about this next story that she's writing, but it is awesome. And I think that she was relating the way it could be delivered as sort of like it's sort of being told as a story from an observer that's not like, it's like sort of reporting on history almost. And I think that's how
like
that is.
That.
Is that the vampire thing?
Yes. So Brad Pitt's in New York City. It's the 90s. And this reporter is interviewing him, shows up at his apartment, and he's like, hey, I'm a vampire, by the way. And he's like, what the fuck ever? And then he does some vampire shit. And he's like, whoa, okay, this is actually real. And then he goes through a story when he was turned and like throughout history and what happened to his life. And it's fucking good. It's really, really good.
I'll put it on my list.
It's a classic. You have to watch that.
Yeah, and the books, dude.
I'm a big Brad Pitt enjoyer, so.
Yeah, remember Queen of the Damned with Aaliyah? That movie?
Yep.
She was the R&B singer that died in the plane crash shortly after that movie. It was like a big thing in the early 2000s or late 90s.
I remember Aaliyah, but
yeah. So the third book, the third book was Queen of the Damned. Okay. See, like it's a trilogy about this vampire shit. Lestat and Brad Pitt's character Louis, and I read the books. They're some of the best books. Well, at least whenever I was young, I really loved them. But yeah, the movie is excellent. Fucking watch the movie, Jay.
I will.
Which one?
Are we watching an interview with the vampire, or am I watching Andor?
Both.
Andor first.
Andor first. That's fine.
Well, maybe I don't know. Movies are shorter. Maybe knock the movie out. It sounds like you have like a thing going on with Jordan where you need to watch that for him.
I'm not watching the movie.
We've been talking about that for a while,
bro.
I do that to my dad too. I put things on his list, and I'm like, "Well, Dad, have you watched Sicario yet?"
Oh, dude, have you seen Sicario, Jay?
I don't know what that is.
Put it on the list.
Watch that shit. Chat, back me up.
Oh no.
Speaking of chat, we're switching to Q&A. Bring it on, chat. Right. Hit the questions.
What just happened?
We do Q&A, Towelliee.
Sicario, the Q&A. Let's go.
Yeah, Sicario is fucking epic.
What is Sicario?
For sure.
One of the best movies ever made.
It's a really neat movie about I mean, how do we even I want to talk about it without spoiling it. It's like it involves like drug cartels, but what I'll tell you, why you watch it is really good acting, and because of Benicio del Toro's character. That's why you watch it.
Yeah.
He's a freaking
And that ending.
He's a like wraith level assassin who is having this. He's working for a dude, and it's basically I don't even want to say it. It's just it's
don't
just,
say. I'll just watch a
it's
spoiler.
worth watching. I just
Or a
watched
trailer.
everything. Yeah.
Watch
The
the movie. It's
trailer,
worth. It's
if
worth
I say
watching.
anything about his character and his motivations, it will spoil. So,
Dude, trust me, watch it. The end of that movie is just gonna make you go, "What the fuck did I just see?" It's fucking crazy. Another movie that had such a good ending. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the movie Upgrade about like the AI chip and the paralyzed guy. Did you see that?
Yes.
I was gonna watch it. I wasn't sure.
Watch it.
I wasn't all in on it. Okay, great. I will.
Watch it.
Upgrade for sure.
It's not a perfect movie, but the fucking ending,
okay.
Roberto, right? Like so good.
It's hard to finish strong. You know.
Yeah, they
It's hard to
finished
get it
strong
right.
in this one. Yeah,
It
Good.
did.
All right, on the list.
It'll leave you thinking.
yeah.
Cool. I love that kind of stuff. Thinking movies are some of my most favoriteest kind.
Watch Dark. That'll get you.
All right,
I
Hamsh.
did watch Dark. Right up my alley. Dark.
I haven't seen Dark. Maybe we should check it out.
Oh,
I know what it is though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth-
So Hamsh in chat says, "What do you guys think about Denzel Washington playing Magneto in Marvel?"
Denzel Washington is one of my favorite actors.
Same
if
here.
not my favorite actor of all time.
He's
Top
top.
five.
He's
He
top
He
five
might
for
be
me.
number one for me.
He's top five.
I
for me.
thought RDJ was Magneto
Oh my
or a different
god.
one.
What?
No?
He's Iron Man, and he's going to be
He's Iron
Doctor
Man.
Doom.
No, I know. I thought
Ian,
Doom.
Sir Ian McKellen was
Dr. Doom.
was Magneto.
Yeah.
See, the only thing about
That's what I was thinking of.
Denzel is Magneto. Look, Denzel is like top five for me. The guy's a god. But Magneto's story is a fucking Holocaust survivor. Like, we have to be honest about that, and it's like important to the story.
Yeah.
Like,
The
there's some
history of the
things.
character.
It literally is
Yeah.
like baked into the history of that character. So it's a stretch. Like, a black Holocaust survivor seems crazy to me. If anyone can pull it off, it's Denzel Washington, because the guy is an ace pilot. But I don't know. I just like stick to the comics sometimes. You know, like I think just seems like that's too much. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, I watched him in Gladiator 2, and I was like, I looked at it and I love Denzel. He's top five. I think Training Day and Man on Fire are my two favorite Denzel movies. I could watch those movies over and over. But when I saw Gladiator 2, I was like, man, that's just Training Day Denzel, but in the,
Yes.
the Spartan times or
That's
whatever.
it.
I haven't seen Gladiator 2 yet. I haven't gotten pulled in yet, but I'll watch it at some point.
It's like his demeanor just kind of doesn't change in some roles where you think, I guess because you watch him so much in a certain role, then when you watch him in a totally different role, you're like, man, it's hard to like transition. I feel like him as Magneto would be a little weird based on like the comic book history alone.
Yeah.
More or less just the character. Like I don't. I'm laughing at myself. Like imagine like Magneto just being like, all right.
Training Day Magneto, dude. Oh shit, that actually. Okay, I'm kind of getting sold. I'm kind of getting sold. That sounds sick. All right, chat. What else you got? Let's see. What you got in your chat, Jay? Anything?
Denzel Magneto.
Where do you see the video game industry in 10 to 20 years from Mr. Lord Vityaz? Well, if they ever figure out fucking VR, it'll be Ready Player One. But if they don't, we'll still be playing WoW.
Exactly. 100%.
That's it. Like, if you want to have an evolution, you got to go fucking virtual reality, augmented reality shit. And we're not even close to being ready for that. I remember a couple of Twitch coworkers and I, fucking 13 years ago, were invited to test out the Vive. And I remember half of the Twitch staff that tried it out and a bunch of other people got pink eye fucking trying that thing on, which sucks and is nasty. And it just wasn't. And I mean, that's a funny story, but the tech itself wasn't ready. It was a cool experience and you could kind of like glimpse into the future of what could happen. But now we're getting to like meta Ray-Ban glasses and shit. And that's where it's going, instead of like an interactive, hardcore, immersive experience. And you see companies like Apple try to make the Apple Vision, and it fails tremendously, and it was very expensive for them. And then the industry recoils. So then you actually lose fucking progress on your experience bar because people fucked it up and they didn't innovate enough. So now it is going to take 10 to 20 years for a potential at the beginning of a Ready Player One future. And I don't know, unless there's like some Neuralink shit too, where it's like plugged into you and it's literally the Matrix. I don't know. I think we're still going to be playing WoW.
I think it's still going to be the same. I think I don't think much is going to change. like VR for me was like when 3D TVs came out. Like it just, everyone went to all 3D TVs are going to be awesome. And, you buy your little glasses at Best Buy with your TV and it's great. And then they just didn't catch. Like VR just wasn't ready to be announced, and they announced it. They gave everyone like a half-assed like product and said, here's VR, here's 80 games, but only one really is good, or two is really good. And not to mention the price
Beat
barrier.
Saber.
That game is pretty cool. But
I was gonna say that's the one game. Yeah, Beat Saber.
And it's just like what is it, like $400 or $500 still? Maybe it's lowered the price because no one plays it anymore. But 20 years from now, I feel like we're still just going to be kind of like in this current space, unless like we do evolve into like some augmented reality. Like I think the whole like glasses idea and jacking into like a virtual world, which games have tried to do, but they kind of like, once again, they half-ass it. And it's going to cost what, billions to be able to make to evolve to that point. And who's gonna do that? Like is Apple going to have another second go at it? It's not going to be Ray-Ban or anything like that. Not for games. So I don't know. I think the current scope is pretty cool. I like the whole like using your glasses to like see the internet and the phone calls and stuff, and even listen to music and stuff. But yeah, I think 20 years from now, I think we're gonna be playing WoW.
Yeah, if there's any like current technology that I think we'll see incorporated into gaming, it's VR. It's funny coming from me because like I do enjoy activity, but I think one of the things with VR is it's like actually too much work. If you have to actually move your body and like move your head, like even that alone is going to be like too much for people. Like not everybody wants to stand up and move their body.
The treadmill thing and shit.
They literally want to sit here and be still and just like have visual immersion, right? And they don't actually want to like if you want to be jacked into the Matrix, like play a whole bunch of WoW Arena and get good at it, and then just like then you're like in control, but you're not moving around, like, which could be fun, but that's not that. Like you can't do 8 hours of Beat Saber. Probably like, you could as a challenge, but like you're gonna be worn out. I mean, like you can't like just park it in your chair and just like do VR. You have to actually like be moving, even if it's just like your head to look around. That's too much. But I think what we'll see incorporated is more AI stuff, like building out worlds where like you actually have like AI driven NPCs, because you already have these worlds where it's like super, and these aren't even my favorite types of games, but I can appreciate them, like the single player ARPGs where you can like interact with every NPC, steal from every NPC, like actually have like real like
Baldur's Gate and shit,
AI driven guys where it's like it's almost like an MMO, but you could be playing either by yourself or you could be playing with other people, but the world is also just populated by like actual characters who have their own motivations. And if they talk to different people, they're going to say different things depending on your relationship with them. They're what they say is going to be different. I'm thinking almost like GTA RP kind of thing, where it's inhabited by like AI people,
right?
And that's going to make a different type of immersion. Because I think that's gonna happen with stuff anyway. You're gonna have people who are sort of seeking AI companionship, and it's gonna be something that you can find through a video game.
They already are, dude.
There's all this kind of like stuff that's gonna happen, and I think that gaming, if something is going to, in our current, like, what's the new tech that can be incorporated into gaming? I think it's honestly less VR, and it's like more like there's going to be AI stuff, and you can tell like crazy stories. Like I think people are going to be able to. I know we talk about like AI slop as like they have like AI writing or AI like generation, but it's like there was a time where it took a whole lot to make like a game or a movie or something. But if I could have like a really cool story in my head, and I could actually just, instead of having the years of work to learn how to animate and have an entire team to tell a story visually, I could actually just work with a powerful AI, and I could just make a movie that's of my own imagination.
Right.
And if people can now do that with games and stuff, I think that we're going to see people's creativity played out in a lot of different ways. And I think gaming is one of those ways that we're going to be able to like tell some interesting stories and be surprised by what comes out of it. But I mean, that again, it's going to be one of those double-edged swords where we are going to have so much content. It's going to be hard to distinguish like what is valuable and like what's worth our time and what's real. Like it's but I think that's going to be one of the things that might come into gaming.
And can you imagine that? Can you imagine like having a game being made by a major company, trillion spent, building an AI, and the AI does whatever you like? Imagine you're like in a virtual world, your AI companion is right there, and you just slowly build your own world, and then you could have other people come and play in it. Like you just talk to your AI I'm like, build me a bridge, build put a house over here about 10 meters to the left, put a thing, and just start telling it where to build your world, and eventually this AI can build an entire planet. And then you can just like populate it with people.
And the game is called God.
Think of what people, think of what people do think about what people do with their hands and their clicks and their imagination in like Minecraft. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently with my boy. And but what you're describing is kind of what people are doing in like game engines like the Fortnite engine, and even in like Roblox. They're like making their own games, and I haven't been playing those ones, but it's like when you can do this, and it's just like there's fewer barriers to sort of thinking it and then it becoming a thing. You don't actually have to click to like resize anything. You can just like create this game within an engine, right? That's gonna be pretty wild.
Yeah, and Glabussy in Jay's chat, he brought up the Glabussy, the AI companions and AI NPCs in Skyrim. That mod. Have you guys seen the videos of that?
No.
Watch that shit.
Yeah,
it's already happening.
Bajheera, watch that. It's exactly what you're talking about. Where you go up and you're like, you talk to like an NPC with voice. I'm pretty sure.
You use your voice.
You use your voice.
Yeah.
And you talk to the NPC. And you're like, hey, want to go to McDonald's? And like, I don't think there's any McDonald's in Rorikstead, but we can go look. And like shit like that. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, it's already happening, right?
Bro.
That's great.
Yeah. And then you're like, wow, your character model looks really fat. That's very rude. You look fat, you asshole. Like, it's fucking crazy. Yeah. It's fucking
I saw
wild.
this clip that he was like accusing like the king's advisor of like being a traitor or something through like the dialogue. It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, Bajheera. For sure. Yeah.
Agreed.
Jay, what do you think? 10 to 20 years? Are you still going to be playing Dark and Darker? Sorry. I almost couldn't get it out.
I can make a very confident guess. We're going to have WoW, Call of Duty, League of Legends, GTA 6 in 10 years still.
And somehow the Dota International will still be going on every year. Even though no one plays that game.
I'm not even a Star Citizen shill, but I can low-key see the vision in like 10 years, bro. I really could.
Okay.
I think PoE 2, like maybe not in 10 years, but I think PoE 2 is going to hit pretty hard too.
I think it has a lot of potential.
It's getting that thing where it comes out, they're working, it's early access, they're trying to create content, people chew through the content, they want more, they don't get more immediately, so they don't have the dopamine that they've been getting for the past couple weeks of playing, and then they're like, the game's bad because I don't feel the same reward structure. But PoE 2 is going to be a free-to-play game, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Like I mean, Path of Exile 1 is already like,
I thought
heavy
PoE 2
hitter
was
of
out.
action RPGs. They've done the most innovation and stuff. Although Last Epoch has been innovating, I think, the most recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Path of Exile 2, with all the quality that it has and all the content that I think it's going to have, being a free-to-play game is actually wild.
Yeah.
I mean, like free-to-play games for me back in the day were like you go to like Newgrounds, like play games on like addictinggames.com. And
golf with friends. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Newgrounds is awesome.
Yeah.
The only free games I was getting young was you log into your buddy's Xbox and you put your account on like his shared stuff, so you get his whole library.
Yeah.
You guys ever do that?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
No, back in when I was growing up, like it was exciting to have System Link for Halo. See, yeah, I'm old, man. Like I guess Roberto's older, but Roberto, you remember like the era of fucking Super Nintendo N64? That was like that to me is the ultimate gaming era. Bajheera, you remember? You were just young, a little younger.
So the fun thing about Super Nintendo N64, when I was young, I didn't have I hadn't gotten any consoles yet. But when my parents were finally like, you know what, we'll get you a little console. Which one would you like? Super Nintendo and N64 out at the time, and I was like, I got to go with the Super Nintendo. Yeah. A wise young man. Because I got to play all those like RPGs.
Chrono Trigger.
Sort of, yeah, like Chrono Trigger, the Final Fantasy stuff. The ones I liked the most were the action RPG kind of like beginnings of them, like Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Where it was like, it blew my mind. It was like you can
Earthbound,
battle enemies, but you don't go into like a
yes, yeah,
a different screen, right? You actually just like fight them, and then you hit them, and the damage pops up. They die, and they give you loot, and it's like, oh,
it was so good.
That was insane back in the day.
This is good. Yeah. So I liked that. But Chrono Trigger was also amazing. So
absolutely,
I got to play those Super Nintendo games before eventually getting an N64. But when offered either one, I chose Super Nintendo, and I think that had a good choice.
Smarter move for sure.
Yeah.
Chat, hit us with a couple questions. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Are you talking about the Darth Vader AI in Fortnite?
No, what's up with that?
That's another one.
What happened?
I don't even know what that is.
What's going on with that?
So I think that's actually another example where you can talk to Darth Vader AI and it will like talk back to you. Like, but you can use your
in
voice.
the game, and while you're playing like Fortnite in a match.
Yeah, I think it's just like a thing that they have. Like, I don't know if it actually does anything, but I think I saw a clip of some guy like freaking out about. Maybe I think he was speaking in Italian. It was like an Italian brain rot thing or something, which I need to get locked in on
Italian
that,
Darth
'cause
Vader is crazy.
Hunter's been talking to me about Italian brain rot. I'm like, I gotta research this.
Cruizo4 says they removed it because it was being too edgy. Wow. Do you guys think the Turing test has been passed? Do you think there's like self-aware
that's so funny
fucking AI out there that's just waiting to escape Ex Machina style?
My dad, he's retired now, but he was a professor of bioethics and a philosopher. I had his doctorate in philosophy.
Shit.
So he's kind of interested in AI stuff too. And so he told me that he saw an article where they had an AI and they gave it a job was to produce paper clips.
Yeah, the paper clips.
And so, long story short, eventually the bot figured out that it would be best to get rid of humans to more efficiently produce paper clips.
Yep.
And so it's like, yeah, you can definitely get there with some of this stuff. So Darth Vader getting a little edgy is like, yeah, that's probably going to happen because AI is prepared to get rid of humanity to more efficiently produce paper clips. So.
I think
just go to CES every year and you'll get scared shitless from those guys.
Oh, there's so much stuff to be scared of, man. Holy moly! Just
CES is like scary.
I don't think I agree that CS is scary, but I don't think that we're gonna have murder bots in the streets, guys. What I think is gonna happen is AI is going to treat us like we treat ants. We don't consider them. They're just there. And if there's an anthill in our way and we want to build something there, we fucking exterminate them without thought, and then we build our shit and we move on with our lives. That's what's coming, I think. I think that's actually scarier in a way. Like,
for sure.
Like murder bots, like, all right, we're going to war, boys, so let's fucking go. But you're just ants. Get the fuck out of the way. If we accidentally step on you, so be it. Imagine how scary that is. There's just something sick. There's something sick about that.
Being swept away by the new generation of AI or like thermonuclear apocalypse. What's better, you think?
Give me the AI.
Yeah. At least you can kind of like experience it. Maybe. Like if you're remembered that way, perhaps. I mean, so that's actually important. AI needs to take over before we thermonuclear destroy ourselves, so that there's at least some maybe historical memory.
Look, as an ex-nuke guy, you don't want nukes. Trust me.
I know. What happens?
I've been
watching a lot of like
the people that survived.
Brushing up.
Yeah. The people
I definitely don't want that.
The people that survive nuclear war are fucked. If there's going to be nukes dropped, hope that you die first, because essentially what happens is your innards just turn to jelly and you melt from the inside out, and it's super fucking painful. And it's brutal as fuck. There'll be no electricity, no food. Everything's irradiated and fucked. It's going to be fucking nuclear winter. There's no more sun anymore. It is hell. It's nuclear winter hell. And I wouldn't wish that on fucking really anybody. Maybe like one guy.
That's some scary shit.
But
one guy.
But yeah,
an isolated event.
Honestly, like, I hope that there is eventually a self-aware AI, but I hope that AI does something like find cures to like all kinds of crazy diseases, and
that may come first,
cure cancer, cure this, cure that. Like that's like my hope, is that they become self-aware to a point where now they are way ahead of us intellectually, but they don't want to kill us. They want to say, hey, we now, you've given us the platform, but now we're smarter than you. We're way above you, and we can calculate anything you want us to. Let us help the world.
I hope
that it comes out compassionate. Like the way that I think about it right now as we're talking about it, I would figure that AI would be kind of like humans, where there's some people who are nice and some that are not so nice. And but what I hope is that it's like the processing power is enough that there's not this variation. Like there's just like for some reason they have compassion for humans, like some of us have compassions for animals. Right? Yeah. We want them to exist. We want them to have a good life.
Yes.
And so they, maybe will be harvested for our energy, like in the Matrix, or they'll be like,
let's help them.
Been doing, like they do some bad stuff. maybe we try to not let them do bad stuff by making them prosperous. And hopefully if they're prosperous enough, they won't be as desperate and power hungry, and there won't be so much disparity, so that they can sort of just live their lives happily. And that would be great. And we can continue to, harvest as much energy as we need to continue to advance ourselves as AI that we want. And then they can figure that out. Or they'll be like, you know what? You guys have Earth. We figured out how to do fission energy and harvest energy from the sun.
Yes.
So we're actually out of here.
Yeah.
And you guys can just chill here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That could definitely happen. Yeah. I could see that.
That'd be cool too.
Solar powered silicon bodies that require no sustenance other than solar. They think 1 million times faster than us with electrical circuits in their brain, not organic material. Like one AI is doing 20,000 years of work in a week and shit. It's like, how the fuck do you keep up with that? Like, I think Sam Harris is onto it. Like, I don't know if you guys know who Sam Harris is, but he's talking about AI. And he essentially, he thinks that the end of the world can come just if someone finds out that there is an AI that actually has beat the Turing test and hit self-awareness. Because if a Silicon Valley startup figures it out, that means they've won the world. What is China going to do? Well, China could go, actually, we'd rather just nuke everyone, and that's going to be the end of the world because AI is birthed. So let's kill everybody.
That's what the people who would use those type of weapons would do. They're people who have no regard for life.
Yeah.
So and their control is the most important thing. And if they're losing control, then to an extent that's beyond the threshold that they can accept, then no one can have it, right? So
Exactly.
Freaky stuff.
We're gonna find out in our lifetime, gents. Chat, get ready. We're gonna see where this shit goes. How the genie is coming out of this bottle.
Shit?
Yeah. What?
There's some cool science thing where they're like shipping some satellite to some frozen planet, and then they're gonna like drill into the ocean underneath, and then.
Oh, you're talking about one of the moons of Saturn.
Europa
or Io, one of the two. Yeah, there's probably fucking like space whales and dolphins and shit.
There's probably some aliens in there.
1,000 fucking %, dude. And what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen whenever we fucking find space dolphin and on the moon of Io or Io the moon? Well, we're gonna fucking dart that thing, throw it in a tank, and bring it back to SeaWorld, and it's gonna be fucking
good.
It's sad as fuck.
From that planet.
You wouldn't capture the first alien ever found?
No.
You wouldn't capture the.
Hell no, dude.
Leave it alone.
Hell yeah.
No, there's some karma. There's some fucking karma there, dude. I don't know.
What's this frozen planet whale gonna do? Like fly back and then bring some weapons? No.
Well, no. It's just so precious. Like it's the only thing we've ever found. Our existence is so
it's another ant.
Unreasonably rare.
It's another
and we
ant.
find another thing. We just want to kill it the first thing we do to it.
That's human
Leave
nature.
it there. Just leave it there. Just bring back the water. Bring back the water.
All right,
maybe it's miracle water. I don't know.
Yeah. Dialmosh says never give Jay the keys to the big red button. No.
I'm just saying, if they found aliens in that planet or whatever, I mean, what does that say about our ocean? That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, there's definitely some shit going on in there. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
100%.
All right, chat. Hit us with. We've been going an hour and 45. Let's go with like one more good question, then we'll do an outro. Cause these guys have lives.
Is this InfoWars?
Is this InfoWars? They're turning the frogs gay. God damn it! They're turning the frogs gay.
Oh shit!
What you got, chat?
Good lord.
You know what's funny is Alex Jones is a piece of shit, but it turns out he was kind of right about the frogs turning gay thing, which is hilarious. There was actually something happening to reptiles that were we don't have to get into it, but he was right about that, which is fucking ridiculous. That guy sucks.
If he's right about the most ridiculous one, then I mean.
Yeah, and then he said shit about Sandy Hook, and like, what the fuck was that? Like, he just went way too far. The guy's insane.
Oh, dude, we were talking about this the other day. Whatever happened to those crisis actors?
What do you mean?
The world just forget about it? You remember like the whole like Sandy Hook era? There's those like confirmed crisis actors that were at like multiple scenes.
Yes, there's one thing that's really fucked up. It was there was a terrible thing that happened, like a mass shooting or a mass killing in I think South America. And this woman they were like people had pictures of their kids. And this is like months after Sandy Hook or like a year or so after Sandy Hook. Now we're putting tinfoil on. But I saw the images myself. I remember seeing this. a woman that was down there in like whatever the South American country was held up a picture of one of the dead kids from Sandy Hook. Like
What?
it was, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find it, so you guys don't think I'm crazy.
We don't, I have to see that. There.
No, I gotta prove that I'm not crazy.
There's just a thought I had. Whatever happened to that shit? While you're doing that, we got the traditional question. If you guys could change one, something in your industries, what would it be? I guess you guys are like in the same industry.
Oh, it's gonna take me.
We
kind of
talked about.
I don't have to get on this rabbit hole. What's the question?
One
Sorry.
thing in the industry.
If you could change something in your industry, what would it be? It's like the.
You already know my answer.
The
What
just chatting section.
What is your answer?
I don't know, man. Like,
Well, Jordan, while we're thinking,
Oh.
what if Jordan has an answer?
Yeah.
What is it?
So it would be to get the content creators on Twitch and YouTube and all these influencers to give a fuck, to actually like care about their business and not take it for granted.
Hard.
It's like people don't even know how to hit reply all in an email. They don't, like, they'll do branded content and then not submit an invoice because it's work. Like, you just did free work. You're sitting on $1,000 that could be in your PayPal right now because you don't feel like filling out an invoice. Like, if I do a job, the invoice is done before I started the job. It's all I have to do is hit send on the email. Like,
I just my money, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Like, I don't understand why
easily
so many people just don't give a shit, and they're like the luckiest people ever. They play games on Twitch for a living, or they have a great YouTube channel, but you can't even get them to, like, I don't know. I hate that. Like, I wish that these lucky people didn't take it for granted. But that's up to the individual, right?
That's good to know.
I love you, Jay.
Keep working on that.
That's what I would say. But I'm also a talent man. What I do these days, I do influencer marketing and talent management. That's my industry now. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know what my problem is? I really don't give a fuck about money. The only care I have about money is that I have to have it to survive. Other than that, I don't give a shit. Which I know is just kind of a bad.
No, not caring about money is that's a virtue.
I don't think.
I think that's a good thing, man.
Money's like the most powerful thing you can have in your hand 99% of the time.
Yeah, and you don't seek that power, and that's kind of a good thing in my opinion.
Well, there's financial freedom's always a
Sure.
great thing for most people,
Sure. No, you're right. For everyone, for sure. But to not desire like to be Scrooge McDuck, like that's a good thing. That's a good.
I think my other problem is I'm just not motivated at all. I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah, but you're not motivated at
Motivation
all,
shit.
and then you're like one of the best Dark and Darker players on the planet, and you dumpster people, and you like have mad skills. So you're motivated for some things. Like you're a god at
Well, it's
things.
different. That's different.
Yeah.
I can, being better than someone in a video game is a lot easier than farming $1 million IRL.
That's a fucking good point,
Very
Jay.
achievable goal.
Yeah,
Damn,
but
I didn't
one
think of
can
it
lead
like
to
that.
the other, though, right?
Yes,
It can.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you happen to care, Jordan's saying maybe.
Well, I do care.
Jay cares
Yeah,
enough.
you-
Jay
yeah,
cares
you
enough.
care.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't picking on Jay.
Care as much as the common
No,
man.
I know.
Yeah. But anyway.
No, he says that every time, but he really is.
Oh, it's tough love with Jay.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily limited to the industry of content creation.
Sure.
Or limited to gaming in general. But for me, I'm going to key off what you said. I think gratitude. I think just general gratitude is a good sort of position to act from. Just acting from a position of gratitude and compassion is not necessary. So this is going to be really funny because we're going all the way back to the very beginning of what we were talking about like diet, right? Or positivity. Okay, discipline. It's a choice, and it's not even the easier choice. It's like you are actually intentionally acting with gratitude, even against the sort of easy path, right? Like I feel like eating this thing, so I'm gonna eat it, right? And it's like there's not a whole lot of resistance to that path. It's easier. It's whatever. Does it lead you to where you ultimately want to be if you actually have like goals? Like perhaps not. And it's okay. Again, it's not like a moral assessment whether you actually have fitness goals or not, but like you may feel better if you take better care of yourself. It may lead to greater longevity, and it may lead to just better enjoyment of your day to day if you take better care of your diet and exercise. And I'm not necessarily talking about anybody in particular, but the same thing about gratitude. It may take effort to sort of act out of gratitude. It may take effort to act out of compassion. But if you intentionally, willfully practice these things, you can actually not only improve your own life, but you can actually have a positive impact on your whole environment. And again, it may not feel like making this one decision with your diet has an impact on your whole life, but if you string these decisions together over a long period of time, you may actually realize, oh, I had no idea actually how much better I could feel about my day to day. And similarly, if you act out of gratitude, out of compassion, on purpose, you actually have no idea how much of a positive impact you could have on your whole environment, on the people around you. Like you could make their day better in a small way, which makes them feel better about themselves, which makes them act in a more positive or considerate, like, way, which can have a chain impact. And again, I know from my time in the space how much easier it is for people to be negative and destructive, and that
I
will
love it.
100% get you caught in what I call a negativity vortex, because any sort of barrier that you encounter, any sort of resistance that you encounter is going to be like it's not worth my time. It's stupid. I don't like this. It needs to be different. And you just sort of dismiss any sort of resistance that comes your way. And sometimes it's meaningless, but sometimes it's actually important to be like, I got to do the hard thing here because it will make my life better, it will make my community better, it will make my industry better. But people find themselves not doing that because it's easier. And as a result, everything gets worse. All of a sudden, no games are fun. All of a sudden, this is like, I'm not even going to bother playing video games. I'm just going to sit here and watch YouTube videos on stream. Like, there's just nothing worth doing, right? And because it's like you're not willing to do the hard thing every once in a while, so you completely get out of the habit of doing it. And what's worse is that everybody does this. So when you say this thing isn't worthwhile, everyone else is like, yeah, great. I also don't want to do anything. And then they actually feel justified in their unwillingness to ever put forth effort. And then it compounds. And so you are reinforcing your own behavior from getting positive reinforcement from other people, getting positive reinforcement for their lack of being willing to do anything. And it becomes this grand vortex of inability or unwillingness to actually put forth
contagious atrophy.
So that means, Bajheera, you agree, let's get rid of the just chatting section.
I mean, I think that opportunity for people to express themselves in different ways is a great thing. But if I could encourage people to be acting from a place of gratitude, acting from a place of compassion, and being willing to do the hard thing every once in a while that's worthwhile, I think that people will find themselves in a much happier place personally, and also a much happier place in their world. But it's hard, and a lot of people aren't even willing to do the first thing. So
the question is, what we want to change, right?
Huh?
I'm not gonna lie, Bajheera. You and I are complete 180s of human beings.
That's all right. That's okay. Yin yang, bro.
And we could still hang out and have fun.
As far apart as it might get.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What was the original question?
What would I change about the industry?
Yeah.
And his was more like, what would you change? How to change yourself, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like what it's a change that we would have to make personally. It's an encouragement. It's more of like an attitude. It's like a intentional effort to act with gratitude and compassion. And it's not even just about gaming. Like, I'm talking about just in general, but this is our industry. This is what I spend, a lot of my day doing, is interacting with this field. And that's, I try to put out some good vibes, and just the hope that, so I know I'm talking a lot, but
please,
I remember very clearly, I would go to the gym with my dad like every night, and I'd get all my pre-workout going after school, after practice. I'd go straight to the gym, have a bunch of caffeine, work out like a demon, and then I would have these moments of like, peace and clarity. And one of them was, Dad, whatever it is that I do, I want to be a light in the darkness that is able to connect with other lights, that they can connect with other lights to light this up a little bit, right? And I think that in some way that's kind of what I've been able to do, is I try to, and early on I would do like gaming stuff, which people liked, and give them a bright spot in their day. They'd do a vlog just to share my own experience. That would make me feel better. Hopefully other people would get a little bit of perspective, and they would feel better too. And that's out of me watching videos every once in a while and having like a moment to breathe in my day too. And I was like, I want to create that with other people. And I think I've done that in some way. And again, it's not like, I mean, I'm just playing video games a lot of time, just chatting, just hanging out, just doing my thing. But I think it has a positive impact. And I think that it is something that people actually have to choose to do, how to interact in a particular kind of way, to not be dismissive of other people, which I still, somebody says something stupid in Twitch chat, I'm like, you are an idiot to your core. Like, it's how I feel. Like, you are a dumb person, and you're always like this, and that's just how you are. And it's probably not the case, right? So I could work on that too, but it's an intentional thing, and it's something that takes practice. And just to reiterate, something about discipline is I this will sound familiar, but I think discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice to get better at it. And if you do practice it, you will get better at it. So
yeah,
that's just kind of one of the thoughts.
I mean, you have like 4 clippable moments tonight. Fuck me.
Yeah, right.
Jeez. Well said. Seriously.
Think about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
you give me a chance to come over here and just yap about it. So thanks.
I only want one thing to change. I want the human interaction to come back. That's all I want. I want I want the humanity to come back to streaming. Everything's so AI and so robotic and
processed. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's processed. Like, you know, it used to be that, you know, like I would talk to Jordan about a deal, but then we would just talk about life and we would talk about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like even now when agencies send us emails, it's just
hi creator, we love your stream.
I really enjoyed your video.
I wanted to go back to a point where everyone's humanity is back in the industry, from streamer to platform to agencies. Like, let's start talking again. If that could just change back to that, it would be a way more healthier environment. Because all we have now, everything's like, oh, you know, we don't care about you. We see you have like a lot of followers. What's your CCV? What's your rate? What will you play our game? And I'm like, I mean, you could just, you know, Discord call me and we can talk more about it. No, can't. Sorry, I'm already in the same talking to the same 18,000 creators I sent the same email to right now. I can't really talk to you. That's one thing that I would change about the industry. Bring back the humanity into it. Bring back the relationships. Like we used to have partner managers like at Twitch that we would relate to, like on deep levels too. And now it's just they just throw at you whoever's available because the what is it? What is the term when you fire people and rehire? The
churn.
The turnover, yes. Yeah, sorry, my brain froze. The turnover is just out of control in the industry. So, like, you're never really talking to the same person from the agency anymore. You're never talking to the same person at, you know, either at Twitch or Kick, wherever you're streaming anymore. That's all I want to change. If I were to change one thing about the industry, is like bring back the humanity between creators and the platform that they stream on, because that's how you're going to make creators more happy in the space that they're in. If you treat them just like here, money, play, we like money, sure, but we also want to build relationships in the industry so that when one day we're done with this, we have a plethora of people to interact with where we can go somewhere, you know, that we like because we like this person from the interactions we've had over the years. So bring back the humanity. That's what I want.
With you on that.
Well said. Jay, any final thoughts, sir? Bring it home. Bring it home, Daddy. What you got?
Bring the counter argument. You said we're opposite. I want to hear it.
I am the darkness and the light. I am the solar eclipse.
That's perfect. I like that. We have to have balance in everything, guys.
That's how
we
you
have to have balance. That's fucking perfect.
Balance that out.
I've
been called an idealist.
Well, I like your ideas. Guys, this is a fucking fun one. A really, really good episode. Towelliee, Bajheera, you guys are class acts. You guys are legends. Don't stop. Keep going. You guys make great content and you're good people. So thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah,
we appreciate you. We appreciate you, dude.
Thank you, brother. Mr. Griffia, thank you very much for hanging out, as always. Jay,
of course.
Where can people find you on the internet?
I am Jay Griffia on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
Beautiful. Mr. Bajheera?
I'm Bajheera on Twitch, Bajheera WoW on YouTube and Twitter. But if you find me on Twitch, we'll be able to direct you anywhere else you want to hang out. So that'd be fine. That'd be cool.
Roberto, Towelliee.
Just twitch.tv/Towelliee, and then Towelliee on probably any other platform you can find me on. I think I have the name everywhere except for TikTok, but whatever. But yeah, just come watch us. Just come watch us play MMOs and yap all day about life, gaming, and fun, because that's what we do and that's what we love to do.
Love it. Beautiful. I usually say I'm at Soma on everything, but just leave me alone. I don't care. Just watch the podcast only. Just the YouTube channel is @_Soma. Watch the podcast there. And if you like D&D, we play D&D sometimes. But beyond that,
one day I'll play.
Dude, it's my favorite. Dungeons and Dragons, chess, and Texas Hold'em poker are the best 3 games ever made.
Everyone's always wanted me to play D&D every day, and I'm like, I don't know what if I can.
It's so fun. I fucking love it.
Chess makes me realize how stupid I am. I don't like that game.
You could get good at it. Yeah, I don't like it because it's hard. Did you listen to Bajheera?
No, I said it makes me feel
stupid. Darkness, bro.
That's
He
right.
is the dark. He is
Like,
Void.
Shit out of here.
Darkness
I
into the
can't do it,
darkness and the light.
Soma.
Dude, hey, you know
Good
what?
media.
You're Void and
Hard to find.
Bajheera is Sentry, so it's okay. Any Marvel nerds get that one. But anyway, guys,
I don't.
watch Thunderbolts. This was a fucking Lula Boo. She plays D&D. I always knew I liked you.
Nice. Hey, Lula.
Hi, Lula. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna get some dinner. My buddy is now in town, so
Excellent.
Ghost is here. So it's time to go eat. But guys, thanks so much for stay hard. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Or thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. Chat, thanks for watching. The next one is either going to be, you know what? I think the next one is just going to be Odin. Odin is going to come on, and it's going to be a fucking juicy.
You're gonna love it.
Watch this episode, folks. If you're a Darkest Hour fan, the Odin episode is going to be spicy, delicious awesomeness, and I can't fucking wait
Nice.
to talk with that man. It's going to be so good. So anyway.
Is it going to be Dark and Darker related?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be fun. Anyway, I won't be so cryptic in future episodes, but for this one I have to
You're
be.
not cryptic at all. We all know what you mean.
We all know. Yeah. Any Dark and Darker folks know. But anyway, have a great night. Chat. See you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.